welcome to Miss Phins Show. I am Miss Phins. Thank you, guys. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. You know what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm gonna ask. Go ahead and hit that like button for me. Hit the like button. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate all of y'all. Woo, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming through. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Um, thank you, guys. As always, like I always like to say, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and keep it clean for the children in the chat. Thank you guys, appreciate it. You could also find Miss Fitz Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern. I know I'm a little late tonight, but it's okay. We can survive. Also, to become a member. Appreciate you guys. It's a great way to support the channel. But you can just hit the like button and subscribe. It's absolutely free. And like I always say, guys, we win together, we lose together. Dolphins for life. So thank you guys for coming through. Hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button on your way in. Good morning. What's up, Dolphins to the mic? Good morning, Miss Fans. Great title question. I believe Dolphins can make the playoffs again with this roster. But will they win a playoff game? Ooh. Thank you so much, Dolphins to the mind. Great question. Good morning, Jeremiah. Wednesday morning, Miss Fans. Hope you and your family are well and good. Yes, we're good. Thank you so much for asking. Much appreciated, buddy. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And the cool thing about today is I'm going to go ahead, if you guys want to come up. You don't have to. But if you do want to go ahead and come up, guys, I want to go ahead and give you guys the opportunity to do so. So, yes, I shall be inviting you guys to have this conversation with me. What up, Steve? Welcome. Thank you guys so much for coming through. Good morning, Steve. Welcome for coming through, guys. Welcome, Aquavision. Welcome. I want to make it kind of like an open panel today because, honestly, guys, I don't know what's going on with my camera, so I still haven't been able to figure it out. I'm not a techie like some of y'all who are experts, so I'm still trying to figure this out. But he's okay. So yes, you read the title of today's show. Could the Dolphins or could the Miami Dolphins make the playoffs again? I probably should have put can the Miami Dolphins make the playoffs again. That probably would have conjugated this word. I mean, I guess they could. Can they? Yes, I guess they can. The question is, will the Miami Dolphins make the playoffs again? I guess that's the real question. Will they make the playoffs again? Because a lot of people, they might not think so. I personally do think. But, there's a lot to consider. And I think that it's only fair that we actually go ahead and do it with. So I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go over some stuff. What did I do? Oh Lord. Oops, YouTube. I'm so special. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. There we go. Okay. We're back. Yes. Could they? This probably should be the first one. Miss Phins, your camera must be a summer vacation like so many other people. Seriously, dude. It might as well be. Okay, so why do I ask this question? Could the Dolphins make the playoffs? The simplest answer to this question, which I probably should have maybe asked a different question that's a little bit more difficult to answer, but I'll answer it anyways. Yes, the Miami Dolphins absolutely could make the playoffs this season, ladies and gentlemen. One of the key factors that a lot of people don't realize is that although we have lost some key players in our team, we still have a great roster that or at least a good enough replacement roster that the Dolphins could feel pretty proud of. Very, very happy with the positions and that we were able to go ahead and replace, and also very happy with the fact that at least on paper it doesn't seem like a huge drop off, and I'm okay with that. I'm happy about that. That's what you want out of your GM, is to be able to replace the players that we lost with guys maybe not the same exact caliber, but good enough that you won't see too much of a drop off. Another reason why. So that's reason number one. Why could the Dolphins make it? Because based on the guys that we got, the replacements, if you will, on paper, shouldn't be a huge drop off. So that's number one. That should be the number one. And what do I mean by that, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, we all know in the first round, 21st pick, we picked up Chop Robinson. So let's just go through the draft and the guys that we drafted, right? So we got Chop Robinson being the first pick that we picked. We know why we picked Chop Robinson. That was a lot to do with the fact that both of our pass rushers or our edge rushers, aka Jalen Phillips and Pat and Chubb as well, both of them are going to be out of the what do you call it? They're going to be out of the season because of injury, or at least out for a majority of the season. Some are projecting that Phillips might be able to come in within that first quarter of the season. At least that's what he wants himself to come in. We'll have to see, but at least that's what we have, right? So we got Chop Robinson being the first one. He's a quote unquote not replacement, but a stopgap for the injury that you know that Phillips and Chubb sustained in that position, right? Okay, fine. We all got to deal with it. It is what it is. Then we got Patrick Paul, 6'7", 100 pounds. I mean, 320 pounds, I believe. Huge guy, huge guy. Out of Houston, second round, 55th pick. Why do we get Patrick Paul? Well, according to them, or at least from what I'm seeing, this should be the replacement for, or at least the backup of Teron Armstead. Why Teron Armstead? Because, well, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but we got half a tackle, with Teron Armstead. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but it is kind of true. We essentially have half a tackle with Teron Armstead. And right now, I mean, Patrick Paul literally is slotted as Teron's backup. So essentially, we should be able to see, or at some point, what this tells me is the Dolphins will have Patrick Paul play and even start this season at some point. We know Teron is still injured. He doesn't even practice. He's literally only game day ready. That's it. Like, only game day available. So because of that, we shall be seeing Patrick Paul play sometime this season. He is supposed to, quote unquote, be his replacement for the future, but at least a stopgap as well while he is injured, because we expect him to be injured still, right? Hey, we got an awesome one of our members, Jose. Jose says, I don't think we will make the playoffs with all the drama and tension in that locker room. Disgruntled Tua and Hill won't be as good. Maybe. Camaraderie is important. Yes, it is. Another one of our awesome members. What's up, Michelle? Good morning. Good morning. Another one of our awesome members, Joe. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, everyone. How you doing, buddy? Welcome, welcome. Appreciate y'all coming in. So we got Patrick Paul, right? Hey, it should be good. Remember, we're right now we're going through number one, which is essentially based on the replacements that we got, quote unquote. There shouldn't be a huge drop off from last year, and last year's team made the playoffs, right? Let's see. Let's continue. Then we got Jalen Wright, one of my like literally the this pickup right here, man, made me so happy. I was so happy when I saw him. I was like, okay, I absolute. First of all, he's already a shoo-in because he's a Jalen. Let's be real. And we already have four. Why not add another 18 Jalen's? But yeah, I do believe Jalen Wright is going to be making the team. Actually, very, very glad that we ended up getting him. Honestly, I'm super excited to see what the young man has to do. I can't wait till training camp to see him. My God, that should be so awesome. So I can't personally wait until we do it. Now, he is slotted at this moment as third wide receiver, running back. So obviously we got Raheem, our veteran. We got Devon Achin, our star-studded second-year running back who just took the lead by storm and then unfortunately got injured, but he should be picking it up right. Just right, moving forward this season. Jalen Wright is actually slotted third. Then we got Savon Ahmed, Jeff Wilson, and obviously Chris Brooks. So that was the other one. And then I'm going to continue here real quick. We got Mohamed Kamara, another edge. Again, remember, we got two of our edges who got injured. So it makes sense. We picked up another edge. Wide receiver Malik Washington. This right here, this is the other pick that I was super flipping out about. I was so happy when we picked Malik Washington as well. Wide receiver, wide, short guy to me. This is my, and a lot of people might not get this when I say it, but I think he is our Tyreek Hill, our future Tyreek Hill replacement. What I mean by that, I'm not saying my comp for him is Tyreek Hill. Let's not get that twisted. But I do believe that based on his size, based on everything else, I do believe that this gentleman will be able to replace him, and we'll have that 1-2 punch, just like we have Tyreek Hill and Waddle. I think we'll have Waddle who will step into that Tyreek Hill role, and then Malik will be able to step into that Jalen Waddle position. But the reason why I say he's the Tyreek replacement is because I personally don't think Tyreek is going to be here for super long term. So that's the reason why. What's up, Insanity? How you doing, girl? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Feel free, guys. Remember, it is an open panel. If you guys are able to make it, come up here because I want to hear from you guys. Could the Dolphins make the playoffs? We're going through first stat based on the replacement. On paper, there shouldn't be a huge drop off, and that's why we're going through the drafts right now. Patrick Morris, ladies and gentlemen, we already know. We had Javon Holland and nobody. I get it. We picked up Jordan Poyer. Great depth, in my opinion. Veteran leadership, which I still think Javon needs. I'm very happy about that, but let's be real. We had Javon Holland and no one else. Picked up Jordan, great. We picked up Marcus May, great. We brought back Elijah Campbell, great. But I think that Patrick McMorris was definitely something that a position of real need, which is why I'm not surprised that we picked up a safety. Actually, I was looking for us to pick up a safety, so I'm glad we actually did. I'm happy about that. And I think he'll have a good opportunity to be able to get into the team. And Taj Washington to round up our draft picks. Another wide receiver. Honestly, can you dig it? I'm not too surprised with seeing um Taj as well. I think he'll have an opportunity right now. It's just we gotta see where he would fit best. And that's why I can't wait to put my literal eyeballs on these guys to see where they're at. Taj is slated to be the backup essentially. So we got Tyreek, Barrios is slotted right now in the depth chart. So relax, people. Barrios is Tyreek's backup. Then Malik Wallace is slotted behind him. And then Taj is behind Malik. So that's how they have it, at least in the depth chart so far. Okay. So based on those that's just a draft, right? On paper, again, we're going on paper. Not bad pickups when it comes to the draft. Obviously, we still have to see what we end up getting from those players, right? But we also picked up Odell Beckham Jr. when it comes to wide receivers, so that should help. We did picked up in as an unrestricted free agent, Jaquan Burton as well as another wide receiver. So we gotta see what these guys are gonna do as far as the team. So that's those positions for the wide receivers. Obviously, we also picked up Baron Matos, Matthew Jones, Andrew Mayer, Ireland Brown. These are some of the free agents that we picked up, or UDFAs that we picked up as well. Another one, which was Hayden Rucci, or Rucci? Yeah, Rucci. As a tight end, we got to see what he's got as well. Gavin Harrison as a fourth quarterback to see. We all know you got to see time of day. He'll be like Blackman last year. He'll get a couple snaps, but that's pretty much it. I'm not really worried about it. Now, as far as the defense concerned, obviously we picked up Leonard Payne, Mario Kendricks, Grayson Murphy, Isaiah Johnson, Jordan Colbert, Mark Perry, Storm Duck, which everybody's very excited about. I gotta see. Corner, we'll see what to do. And Jason Maitre. Hopefully these guys on paper, they'll be good. Another pickup that we got, obviously Calais Campbell. Absolutely, absolutely happy about that. Tier Tart, Benito Jones. Very happy about those pickups that we ended up bringing in as well. Jordan Brooks. Like we got some guys that, in my opinion, were pretty good. Pretty good on paper, at least. And they should be able to not have such a deep um, drop off, right? I'm on pins and needles waiting to see if Tua is going to show up to camp and fully participate. Jose, you and everybody else. No playoffs equals fire McDaniel. Ooh, that's so he's on the hot seat. What up, Adam Ass? Another one of our awesome members. Fins up, y'all. Yep. So that's where we're at when it comes to the additions that we got, right? Okay, cool. Awesome. So based on paper and the replacements, could the Dolphins play again? In my opinion, is this the exact same roster we got from last year? No, but it is comparable. So based on paper, we should be able to make the playoffs again, right? But wait a minute, we act like other teams didn't make moves either. So let's go over our schedule real quick because we got some. Let me be honest with you guys. In order to make this, the schedule is, in my opinion, a true testament to what the Dolphins are gonna have to deal with, and it won't be easy, ladies and gentlemen. The Miami Dolphins actually, I don't know if this is gonna be as easy as it may seem. Now I got a little bit of stats, but I'm gonna talk about that afterwards. I don't know if this is gonna be as easy as it's gonna be. because this isn't an easy schedule whatsoever. Like, whatsoever. But it shouldn't be. Being that we ended up being ranked second in the division last year, we should have won it. Won the division, but obviously we didn't. That's something that we'll have to go ahead and deal with. Get to 11. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, hello. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Welcome. Who do we have, caller number one? Who do we have here?
You act like you don't know my voice.
Oh, it's been a while since I heard. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I know this is Fantasia. No, I'm just kidding. Finsanity. What's up? I just messing with you. There you go. Oh,
It's always funny. It's always fun. It's always fun. Good morning. Good morning, everybody out there. How are you all doing today
good morning, guys. Good morning.
on a wonderful Wednesday morning?
Mhm. Mhm.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate you being here, watching the show. Love it. Love you all. What are we talking about, Miss Fins?
Well, we're talking about could the Miami Dolphins make the playoffs again? I think that that's a it's a good topic to talk about. I think that a lot has happened this off season so far, and we're still waiting for some major announcements. Either way, whether Tua gets an extension or not, or he has to play in a fifth-year option, or even Tariq gets an extension or not. So those are the next two moves. I guess everybody's waiting pins and needles. So I'm just talking and walking through everybody, kind of some of the stuff that we've made. Where I think that the answer is, could they make it? Yes. Will they make it? That's a different story. And so I'm building my case as to why I feel like they will make the playoffs again. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. No,
Oh,
go
oh,
ahead, build your case. I don't think I've disagreed with anything that you've said so far. Go ahead.
okay, okay, cool, cool, cool. So now, as far as the schedule, ladies and gentlemen, that could all look different mid-season. And you're not wrong. With all the injuries we had last season, Dolphins don't mind. Another one of our great members. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. It's never easy to win in the NFL. Agreed, Steve. So let's go back to the schedule real quick because a lot of people always forget, yeah, we can beat these teams like they didn't make adjustments either. So look, right off the bat, you got Jacksonville and you've got Buffalo Bills. Now, do we feel comfortable about Jacksonville? Is this a team that we feel um um do we feel that we can actually make this team and or beat this team based on analysis, based on the move they made so far? I mean, right now the Jacksonville Jaguars are technically ranked. This is only based on the lines out there that I'm seeing. 19th. They're ranked 19th so far when it comes to Super Bowl odds. Let's go by that. They're so kind of middle of the road. They just signed Trevor Lawrence to that big contract, which is a fluff 55 a year. But I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be a gimmick, but I think this is definitely a very winnable game for us. So if I were to give us a W, I would go with a W on this one. The Bills, on the other hand, are still favored when it comes to, and I don't understand why or how, but they're still favored to win the Super Bowl somehow this year. I don't get it. I really don't get it. But Bills, again, continue to be favored. They're a top 10 team again. Division rivals. Why not? You know what I mean? Um, that one's going to be actually pretty interesting to see. What up, Red Red and Bills? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We face a happy QB 1 and 2 Tough. Yeah. Oh my God. I can't. The Hawk Tuah girl was paid more to wear Tua's jersey than he was offered by the Dolphins. Probably, actually.
Can I get a quick shout out to CB83, a real one in the chat? How you doing, sir? Love
CB's
the
in here.
shows.
Hold up.
See,
Wait a
he's in
minute.
he's
Where is
in
he?
here. He's in here.
Oh, what's up, CB83? How you
Where
doing, my
is he?
friend?
He's
No,
in the
hold up. My chat is small, so I can't. Gee, what's up, CB83? How you doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Guys, go check them out. I know we're going to be meeting each other this year, so that'll be fun, but
You going to
good
training
morning
camp?
to you, sir. Yeah, I'm
Wait.
going to training camp.
Okay.
But I'm looking for actually let's do this before I continue. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Phins needs your help. I need one or two tickets to Sunday, July 28th. When I went to go get them, I had a whole show about telling you guys to keep your eyes open so you can get your tickets. And what did I do? Completely forget that I had to go get my tickets for training camp. And I missed out on the first day. So,
Oh, for the first day?
yeah, which is the 28th, which is that Sunday. And I really want to go. So
I
if you
think
guys,
I think I can give them to you. I think I have those. I think I have that day.
oh, for real? For
Don't
real?
don't don't. Hey.
Hey,
What?
hey, wait, you coming? Forget
First,
it, because if
fir-
you're coming, hey,
wait a minute.
who?
First things first. Hold up, chill out, because people do live in other states. What I always do because people do tend to forget, I will always go and reserve extra just in case people
Mm,
need them. So even if I can't go and they missed out or they were at work or it's sold out, if you need them, it's a simple, hey, transfer here, there, everywhere.
yo, for
We
real?
never we never disclose if I'm going to be at training camp. Sometimes I do appear and people just don't know, and I come, I
I
go.
get it. You're ops. I get it.
I
I don't
we
know
will.
why.
We in, we out, but I'm mainly out because we outside. There you go.
But, well, first of all, what's up, Lewis, in the building? How you doing, Lewis? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Who? I can't. Oh my lord. What's up, Color? How you doing, Color? Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. Appreciate you. I also have at least two extra for every day if anyone needs. Awesome. Okay, cool. Because I'm not gonna lie, I slightly was freaking out, and I was like, I can't believe the one day. Like, not that I'm going to multiple days, but I can't tell you which days because not that I have. I don't think I have ops. I mean, I'm sure I have haters, but I don't think like ops. Like, I feel like ops are like a lot worse than haters, right?
You don't have ops, Miss Fins. You don't
Okay.
you don't have ops.
Okay. Look at it. 100% we are. Oh gosh, the ops won't pop out. They ghost. Okay, good. Okay, Dolphin State of Mind also needs one too. So Dolphin State of Mind, hit me up and we'll try to get you. We'll try to get you that other one that you need. It'll be great. I don't know if you're gonna bring the wife and kids, but I love to see him again. So we'll definitely coordinate for sure. I'm going to every Dolphins training camp. Really? All right, cool. I'm sure then we'll definitely go ahead and see each other for sure. But ladies and gentlemen, let's continue here. So that first one, yeah, I feel very confident about it. Bills, okay. Seattle, I don't know. But based on this insanity, how many games do you think we'll actually win?
I've always, been consistent with that. We get to 11. I believe that
11.
we get to 11. Now, whether we get more than that, that's, for them to figure out, but we do get to 11. So,
Which ones we don't win?
what?
That'll be
I
easier. What are the
listen,
losses?
listen, like I
That's
said,
6 losses. So give me the losses.
give you the losses. I don't know
Give me
what
the
we're going to
losses.
listen. Like I said,
Okay,
I
guesstimate.
don't
You're
know
smart.
where,
You're a smart
when,
woman.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I did a lot of work to become smart, but
You did.
naturally,
I mean,
God,
if people
God
knew,
naturally did.
if
Yeah, God
people
naturally
really
did it for me.
knew, I'm not gonna
Oh,
say it
oh
like that.
yeah.
Come on, girl, please.
Oh yeah. How
I'm
smart
not
I
putting you
really.
out there like that. But if people knew,
If
man,
thank.
you're a genius. Like,
Woo.
but I'm not gonna like give details. But you're a genius.
Genius is loosely given now, but
Oh, wow.
you
Well, you
know,
know what? See, I
IQ's
don't like to
IQ.
loosely I don't like to loosely give away words. I think words do matter.
Yeah.
Uh not in the sense of what they say today, but in general, for me, words do matter. So if I say something, it's because I truly mean it.
Oh,
I
thank
don't
you.
say things just to say it, but
Mhm.
yes, yes, absolute genius. And
Thank
especially
you.
when it comes to football.
Thank you.
But in real, regular life,
Mhm.
yes. So, you know,
You know
like
what?
the market is the market, genius is genius. So it is what it is. So give me the losses, man. Who do you
I
think that
can't.
like?
I
Okay,
can't
okay,
call
okay.
it.
Let me put it to you
Hmm.
easier. I'm gonna give you games, and you tell me if it's a yes or loss. Is that like okay? 50. If it's 51% chance that we could lose, we'll call it a loss.
I
Okay.
think here's the thing, and you know what? I know people want to get into oh, what teams are. At the end of the day, it has to be played out. You can predict all you want, but you never know the outcome until there's zeros. You know, at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the fourth quarter. What I say is, I believe that this is an 11-win team. Presently, constructed. You need to get to 11. I think this is a team that
I agree.
that strongly has the capability of winning the division. And to Jose's point, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's teams on there. When we talk about the Dolphins, right? You talk about contenders, right? You talk about competing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have the ability to compete, but if you truly want to be a contender, if you truly want to shape your own narrative, control your destiny in the playoffs, there's teams on that list that I see that you have to not only compete against, but you have to win. And
Yeah.
I was having a very wonderful conversation, and it's about knowing how to win late, knowing how to win close games, right?
Mm. Mm.
Taking those steps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Still young in our offensive scheme, right? New in our
What?
defensive scheme, right? But the personnel, right? The experience, especially on the offensive side of the ball, right? You as the Miami Dolphins, with everything that you have put together in these 3 years, the uphill battles, all the narratives, and all that, right?
Yep.
You have to win. It's no longer about being in these games and competing. You have to be able to beat playoff teams. You have to be able to beat teams over 500. You have to do this. Why? Because you want to be 1-2 when it comes to conference. When it's said and done,
Mm-hmm.
end of and beginning of January, we're trying to figure out what's the order of playoffs and what's your road and what's your path, right?
Yep.
Sadly, if we look at the top teams in the AFC, right? Cold weather. Outside of us, outside of us, and if you look at the division winners, outside of us, only the AFC South, right? So it's like,
Yep.
what side of that do you want to be on, right? Well, one, you either want to be above the AFC South,
Yep.
right? Obviously, right?
And that's
You
the
got better.
Texans, the Colts, Jaguars, Titans, because not
Well,
every.
yeah, yeah. Outside, because
No,
like
not
if you
all
want
fans.
to listen,
Not all fans.
if
No.
you
So that's why I
go to
like to do.
listen, listen, you know, you're blessed that the AFC South has Houston Colts in the dome,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Jacksonville is in Florida, right?
Yeah, it's in Florida, so at least
Right,
you're that's
right.
good.
If Tennessee,
Tennessee's probably the only one that's like really like.
if Will Levis, well, they have Will Levis, Calvin Ridley, D Hop, and Pollard. If they go out and shock the world and win the South, you better be above them, because you don't want to. I don't want to go into the code of Tennessee. I don't want to go into the code of anywhere, because personally, I would love to go on the Miami playoff tour,
Mm-hmm.
and it just be wonderful weather, right? I don't want to be freezing. I already got that enough in Jersey. If I want to be cold, I can be up here. It's fine.
That is true.
It is what it is, right? Wouldn't mind, going to the other places, right? But
Hmm.
for the Miami Dolphins, right? You got to win. They're the excuses are wearing very thin on me. Either you're going
Mm.
to be a
Mm. Say
team.
that one more time. Say that one more time. I don't think people in the back heard that.
What did I say?
The excuses.
The excuses are wearing thin. You can't keep saying you're a contender, and then when you're going up against teams of your caliber,
Hmm.
you're coming up lacking. You're coming up wanting. And for me, that's where I love this schedule. I I love that in week 1 and 2, specifically, week 2, you can make a
Hmm.
very interesting statement, right?
That is true.
But then you got to follow it up week 9, right? I mean, it is going to be what it is. Week 1, you're home. Week 2, you're home. You really want to come
Back
out
to
of that,
back home stands. Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Right, and then you have a Bills team, that has to come. I think they have to come, and
Yeah,
they
they
have to
have to
come
come.
travel and stuff like that. That's a statement game. I don't care what anyone says. That is a statement game. Or did you
Yes,
get the
it is.
stadium scrimmage tickets?
Uh, I think I might have. I think I might have. I gotta double check. I don't know. Girl, I was when I once I realized I lost the first day, I was like, "What can I get?" What can I get?
But yeah, back to my point.
Hmm.
This team needs to get to 11, and it shouldn't be. You should not be trying to watch other teams and what they're doing. We should not be in a position where we are schedule watching and schedule predicting as we had to do in the last couple of years and seasons to figure out how many scenarios get us in, right? You
Yep.
got to handle what you got to handle. And I think the back part of our schedule starting week 13 is
Hmm.
so wondrously competitive that like when you're going into the playoffs, like these are teams that people expect to be in the playoffs. Outside of the Jets, you're playing 4 teams that were in the playoffs last year.
Literally.
You have to
Literally.
win. I'm not saying you got to win all of them, but you need to come out with a winning record in that part, because if not, we're gonna have some questions, and there will be more talks about, is this Dolphins team for real, or is it just gimmicky, or is it just finesse? You got to put your hands down in the dirt and go out there and go get it. And you're good enough. You're constructed well enough, more than well enough to do that. And I remember, last night, still having another wonderful conversation. We were talking about the AFC South matchup, right? Like,
Hmm.
shout out to us for getting the AFC South. And I said personally, because we're talking, I said, if we don't come out the AFC South 3-1,
It'll
right?
be a disservice to us, in my
I'm
opinion.
right. And then someone said, well, we can go 1-3. And I said, if we go 1-3 against the AFC South, forget us making the playoff, forget us winning division. That conversation, you can sometimes, feel better about it if you still, hey, we went 1-3, but we still, handled other business. It is what it is. Cool. Keep that part out of it. Keep the rationale out of it. If you go 1-3 against the AFC South, we have a severe problem.
Well,
A,
yeah,
a
because
severe problem.
that's
And I'm
that.
not comfortable with that.
I mean, if you really take a look at it in the AFC South, right now they should be expecting Richardson to come back at the Colts, right? They still got Jonathan Taylor, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like we just talked about the Jaguars.
Absolutely.
Jaguars still have their core team. They
Yeah,
lost, I think, Ridley, if I'm not mistaken,
yeah.
but they picked up a different. They picked up another guy.
In
So
the draft, yes, they
yeah,
still have Ingram. They Christian
exactly.
Kirk is coming back. Travis Etienne will be there. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
which Kirk ended up being their number one guy anyway. So for me, that's it. That's still the same thing from last year.
Hmm.
And they're gonna have Trevor, who's gonna be healthy now, right? So
Oh,
for me, that's kind of the same thing that's coming back. You're gonna get health from the Jaguars. You're gonna get health from the Colts. You already know the Texans, and you saw a young, hungry team with a young, hungry coach who made some moves to only get better in the Texans. And Tennessee, to me, their biggest loss this offseason, if I'm going to be 100% honest, is their head coach. The reason why I feel confident against Tennessee, it's only because it's no longer Vrabel as their head coach. I'm like, to me, we didn't lose to the Titans. We lost to Vrabel. That's what me personally, the way I saw that. I'm like, I can't believe this. Whether it was Tannehill or even Willis, it was Brable because of his defense. Why do I say this? Because guess what? He comes from the Belichick tree. He is a defensive head coach. And guess what beat us whenever we played against? The Patriots beat us, not really with offense. They beat us with their defense. Their offense was just, I mean, they beat us with both. But you know what I mean? Like, it started with their defense. And he brought that defense to Tennessee, and that's what beat us. Rebel's no longer there. I don't trust who they have right now. Honestly, I can't even tell you. For me, I don't feel as worried about the Titans as I did before because Brable's no longer there. To me, it was the dumbest move to move on from him, but
Miss
it
Fins,
is what it is.
Miss Fins.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I feel like no lie,
Mm-hmm.
and like I love the way you can always right a wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the same feelings that we had against for the Titans last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're replaying those emotions, right? This is a team that knows how to beat us. And to your point, a lot of it is head coaching, right? But
Mm-hmm.
that blueprint is still there. You feel me?
Yeah, that doesn't
It,
mean they're less acute though. So
listen, I believe, and we like I said, has to be played out. I do believe we will beat Tennessee. I do believe that we will beat Tennessee.
I do believe so too.
I believe that we will win. And, owe to one of the great USA chants, I believe that we will win. You feel me? I do believe
Mm-hmm.
that. In my heart of hearts, I believe that. Going to be
I
there
do too.
Thursday night, won't be there Monday night. I will, but I believe. I like when I say in the coreness that I really believe we are going to beat Tennessee. I do.
Okay.
If we lost, I'm there has to be accountability, like, because like
You're
granted,
gonna be
right? Like
beside yourself, man.
no, but like here's the thing, right? Beautifully enough, right? When you think about last year, right? When you think about the teams that we were
Mm-hmm.
supposed to beat, or that on paper you felt like you should beat. Tennessee's the only one that we did not handle, right? We handled the Commanders,
Yeah.
Panthers,
Mm-hmm.
Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna be saying Jets, but the Jets of last year. You
Mm-hmm.
feel me? When you were
Mm-hmm.
out here claiming
Mm-hmm.
that Tim Boyle might boil, yeah, okay. Um,
Yeah, I still remember that.
no, never gonna forget it. It will
Oh,
listen.
snap.
It's in the Hall of Fame of your sayings for me, right? So with that with that
Mm.
belief that what we have learned to beat the teams that we are supposed to beat and not take for granted, that I do believe
Yeah.
that we can beat Tennessee. We'll get to see, right? Pollard has to regenerate his career. He did not look well last year in Dallas, and hence why they let him go. You bring in a Calvin Ridley to go alongside of D Hop. I think it's going to be a very fun matchup. I'm really looking forward to that game. And
Yeah.
that's why I talk about close games. You never know how, like, you think, okay, we should beat this team easily. But then you're in a close game. When that game gets close and tight, do you have the wherewithal to go out and finish it, to put it away? And last year we lost to Tennessee because we didn't put it away when we should have, right? There has to be that moment. Okay, we need that first down. Get that first down. There needs to be that moment. Okay, you know what? They scored. We need to respond in kind. We need to put more points back on the what's the name? Them scoring 15 points, I think what, in a 3 minute span of clock time or whatever, unacceptable.
Three
We're not
minutes,
gonna get
14 seconds.
look at you. But so yeah, so
That's how much it hurt. So
this year
yeah.
we have one playoff team at home outside of the Bills. The rest of the playoff teams are away games.
Oh,
San Fran.
but that's I mean that's not a good thing to have all these guys. And shout out to all 200 and some people here. I
San
appreciate
Fran.
all yours
San Fran
coming
is
through.
a playoff team. San Fran is a
Of course,
Super
they're
Bowl. I think he said. I thought he said they were all away. I might have misread it.
well, most of them fine. San Fran
Most
is
okay.
the
Yeah.
okay. San Fran and Bills are the only two, from what I'm seeing, that are actual playoff teams. If you want to count the Jets, because technically they got Rodgers, but we gotta see if he makes it out of round one. So we'll see. But
Listen,
at the
you're not a playoff team until you prove that you're a playoff team. Just like
yeah,
the
until you
Dolphins,
make it exactly,
just like the
exactly.
Dolphins aren't a team who can win in the playoffs until they win the playoffs.
Yep. Looks like Joe
Thank you,
got it right. All except one. Thank you, Joe.
thank you.
Hey, shout
So
out to all the members, man. Appreciate all the members. Timothy, let's go.
so yeah,
In
you're
my
not a
opinion, the
playoff team.
Raiders are a sneaky team we could lose to. No, don't tell her that. Ooh, don't tell her that, Timothy. Don't tell her that.
Don't we have a
She can't
friendly
handle the truth.
wager?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't we have that? Yeah, you know what? That's the game. That's right. Because everyone's like, I'm supposed to be there. We're supposed to watch that game together, aren't we? Oh, no, no, I'm not here for that. Listen, listen. I'll push back on you. I let people have their opinions. You.
Look. You literally already. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
actually, Color's right though. Jags are a playoff team. They did technically make it the year before. They didn't make it last year only due to injury. But
Only do that.
I mean, am I
That's
wrong
that's
though? But that's a
that's the
major
that's
injury though.
that's
You're
that's the
literal.
reasoning. That's the reasoning we can use. That's the reasoning we can use.
But you're
Sure.
telling me it's not a valid reason.
It's a
You're
valid. It's a
starting
valid.
quarterback.
It's a valid reason. I'm not against it. I'm
I'm
not
not trying to use it as an
against it.
excuse. It's just
I'm not against it. Listen. You know, respectfully. Um,
mm, mm.
if I'm gonna let that one go.
Mm.
Um, a lot of teams have won playoff games. To me,
Oh,
that's.
oh, oh, sir. I believe
I'm
that we
not.
will win.
I'm not going. Listen. Oh man. Okay. So yeah, Jacksonville definitely won the division. That was very wonderful. That was a very competitive, loaded AFC South team that they had to, claw their way out of, in what 2022, 2023
Mm-hmm.
season. Right? Yeah, because we said 2023. Yep, yep. So, shout out to them for, winning a very, 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 tough, well constructed, division. Them, knocking, going up against, the Tennessees. Derrick Henry is always, a fantasy beast.
Oh my God.
Tannehill, no, Tannehill I think was getting benched that year for like the Malik kid from Liberty or whatever. The Colts were obviously, they obviously didn't, pick up a quarterback to follow that. You mean that off season, and AR-15. Houston obviously, didn't have, I think what the number 2 pick in that, draft. So yeah, shout out to the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's very fun being in the AFC South is what I can say to, some of this.
Okay, okay. All these teams have valid reason, but the Dolphins have excuses. Please make
Thank
make
you,
that
Lewis.
listen.
That-
Okay, Lewis, thank you for coming through. Much appreciated.
that's why
You're
we
all
outside.
girl. I am not bringing no Twitter beef over
There's no
here.
what is Twitter beef? There's no Twitter beef. I
Mhm.
don't have beef with anyone. I'm just stating a known fact. Today I will be outside because it's a wonderful, beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day.
Very, very,
Hey.
very. What's the weather up there?
You mean down here since
Yeah,
I'm in Florida?
yeah, down there.
It's not bad, but we do have the Saharan desert thingy over here right now, and it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
annoying.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was like a hurricane for about an hour and a half here, and then hot and humid as always. So anyway, so you give me 11-6. So you think, positively speaking,
Uh
we
huh.
will get to 11 wins.
Mm-hmm.
That's your reasoning as to why yes, this could be a playoff one. Okay, because you want to not tell me who the losers are, or at
I
least the
no,
losses are.
I think no. Listen, I believe I believe that we are going to be a playoff team because we have shown the ability to. How can I put this? I think the Dolphins have turned that corner. Optimism has me saying, you know what, we can't head in the wrong direction.
Well, you know what? Color has a point. We rolled through 10 teams plus Dallas. Bad team or not, we rolled through them. And to be
You gotta play
fair,
who's on your schedule. You gotta play
to
on. You
be fair,
gotta play
yeah,
on your
you gotta
schedule.
play who you got. Exactly. You can't play who you don't got.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and to his point, I mean, if you
Mm-hmm.
really take a look, not only we rolled, we were the number one offensive team in the league last year. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
led by Tua Tagovailoa and Raheem
Tua,
Mostert.
money by Loa. So
And
with
Raheem
that being
Mostert. Give him his
exactly,
flowers too.
Ibrahim, 21 touchdown, 21, 21, 21.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so with those two gentlemen, and obviously all the rest of the 51
Yeah,
players,
absolutely. Everyone else. Yeah.
so we were able to do it. Not realistically speaking, I mean, yes. And that's why I said my first point is based on the replacements that we got, although not necessarily to the same caliber of what we lost as far as players,
Mm-hmm.
but they're comparable replacements, in my opinion. That I don't feel like, oh my God, we're nowhere near the team. No, I actually think if we were, let's say, at 100% last year, we might be at like a 85% this year, maybe 90% in what we were able to bring in. It's not necessarily going to be the same quality, but good enough to still get you again comparable replacements. And that's one thing that I loved about this off season. To be honest with you, I think this has been the best off season that Chris Greer has had. And yes, I'm putting this above the Tyreek Teron Armstead off season. So because he had to deal with something that he didn't have to deal with before. It's them top players who you had and having to replace him with comparable pieces. I think this is the one time where he actually was able to do it, and not just players that were injured, but viable options for us to be able to play day one and to have as depth and backups. So, but yeah, that's just me so far. So that's the schedule. Goal to get to 11. Okay, so give me your other reason why this team could make the playoffs again. Because I'm gonna ask a question afterwards, and I think
Okay.
that one's gonna be a little bit
You
tougher for
know,
people to really answer.
I believe in the roster that we've put together. I believe I have a lot more confidence in the coaching, right? Like we've been growing and learning with Mike as he has been learning and growing, on the
Mm-hmm.
job. I believe that we have we have the battle test, right? Sometimes you have to feel the sting of certain things to hopefully head in the right directions. And I believe
Mm-hmm.
that this organization, since we have been in a lot of turmoil, right? This has probably
Yes.
been outside of, the Tua contract, right? This has probably been one of our quietest off seasons, just kind of, peace before the storm. And I think we're going to be the team bringing the storm. I think that
Mm.
I think we can truly compete. And that's why I said in the beginning, right? Competing for me is not enough anymore. You have to win these games, right? And that's why I said I love how wonderful the end of our schedule is, right? Because at that point, it is what it is. You can say, oh, we're trying to implement new things, blah, 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 blah. You've been doing this thing 3 years. You
Mm.
have your
Mm.
you have your weapons. They
Mm.
have been consistent for the most part. 3 years, you've always added to it, right? You have Janu, right? You have that tight end. You still have
Mm.
Smythe, right? So that room gets reinforced, right?
Mm.
You still have your number one option and one of the best wide receivers in the league in Tyreek Hill. You also have his complement and Jalen Waddle. You are not lacking. And then you say, you know what? We still need another option. You go out and you get a veteran of the likes of OBJ, not someone who you need to be 1,000-yard receiver, but someone who can be who can be dependent upon outside of Tyreek and Waddle on third down. So it keeps the defense guessing more, and it does limit a little bit what they can do schematically against you. Like, you want to go three safety deep again? Okay, we will have an answer for that, and we will have a response for that. We will have other options. You're not just watching a 1-2 punch anymore. You're watching a 1-2-3, maybe a 1-2-3-4, depending on who's on the field personnel wise, and depending on the situation of the down. Right, 3rd and 1 is different
Yes.
than 3rd and 6. Like, you're like respectfully, right? I don't want to talk down, like, that, right? What you will and will not do in those instances, and what the defense will and will not play or show you,
Mm-hmm.
respectfully, right? I believe that you have an amazing running back room. Not only did you have potentially 2,000-yard rushers, people that leaves people's minds sometimes.
Oof.
Do you know how hard it is for an offense
Oof.
to have 2,000-yard receivers and
And
2,000 yards?
2000 years.
And then
That's never happened in the NFL before.
and
It's
listen,
never happened.
and this is why, like, when people say, because, like, I'm not going to go on a rant when people say, oh, Tua had the least amount, like, as being as a passing leader. Do you understand what his running game was doing? Are
Mm-hmm.
you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Go show me the leading passer that had what he had in a rushing game. Like, please stop with these little nitpicky things that you have out here. It
Yeah.
is egregiously small, and it makes you look not like a
Small.
hater, but as someone who does not just want to realize that our offense wasn't just QB dependent. This was like
No, it was actually it was a lot more balanced than people thought. But the problem is
facts.
that it just
Oh, you know,
this is the thing when you have a shiny toy like Tua, who's supposed to be giving you all this pizzazz and whatnot, and it has a lot of expectations, especially when he's trying to get a big contract. You're going to want more out of him. But what they don't realize is what we've been asking for and clamoring for years is to have a balanced offense. And Mike McDaniel told you last off season, my goal this season is to have a balanced offense and to have the running game be more prominent. I mean, he literally was only what a few yards away from Christian McCaffrey as far as yards this season. He did have a lot. He did
total.
have 21 total touchdowns. Like,
Wait, you talking about rushing or just total? Because CMC was over there cooking with total.
well,
I'm about to say,
no, Raheem had 21 total touchdowns,
yeah, yeah. You said,
18 rushing, and then three
yeah, yeah,
catching.
yeah. But you said Raheem and CMC, like, he wasn't that far off of CMC in
Yards.
yards. Total yards, receiving in, or just
No, no,
rushing?
rushing
Rushing.
yards,
Okay, yeah,
rushing
because
yards.
CMC was
Oh,
over
I
there. So
know
yeah, yeah.
because he's a pass
That's
catching
he's
running back.
CMC, right?
So
Like,
that's why that's why he's in
he,
the
he
cover. That's why, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is
No,
that
that's
guy.
why I was leaning towards the rushing part. That's
Yeah,
what it was.
yeah. So people are going bump the drops. The team was phenomenal. I am very very intrigued by the defense week one. I'm going to be very interested in seeing the scheme. And granted, what you show week one is not going to be 100% what you show week 10, right? So
Hmm.
for the most part, base, we can get into that. I'm not going to go delve down that hole, but it'll be very interesting to see what we look like week one comparatively to the back end of the season, right? But no, I think the Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins, are are good. We're good. We're a good team. I'm not sitting here, you know, mentally struggling about and OCD worrying about wins and losses. Like, oh, if we can get this one, or if we can somehow find a way to beat this team. I feel like we can beat a lot of these teams, 11 of them. That is a lot, a big portion of it. And I truly believe that we are going to see it better. Like you were entertained last year. I think the entertainment is only going to be greater this year, and I'm here for it.
Oh, no, that's a good point.
A
Timothy
more
says,
aggressive defensive coordinator.
"Oh, that is true." And that man is huge. When I tell you that man is like, okay, I'm 5'7", and he's definitely over a foot
You're
taller than
five
me.
seven.
I am 5'7". Do I not look 5'7"? Do I look shorter
Short.
than that?
No, I'm just realizing how short I am. Jesus.
How short are you?
I'll send it to you.
Okay, okay. Yeah, well, I'm 5'7". And that man is at least a foot taller than
Yeah,
me.
I like his. I like. That's why I said I'm interested to see what he does week one. His mentality, his philosophy with approaching the defense in different matchups, right? Like what you do
Hmm.
against particular quarterbacks.
Remember, he's
When
going to be doing a mixed defense. That's
yeah,
exactly what he said he was going to do. When I
absolutely.
interviewed him at the Tua Luau, um, and that blessing that I got to be able to go to that.
Yeah,
Very happy about that.
it'll be fun.
Good
No,
memories.
we're not going to go down that rabbit hole.
Oh my gosh, look at him. Don't forget his arms, Miss Finn. Stop it. His wife was there. But yes, he had huge arms. Like huge arms.
I
He
would
was
hope so.
the man. I mean, he was kind of scary looking. Like, I mean, he looked like he can bench press.
Bench
Like
press
a lot.
a lot.
Like a lot. Yeah.
Miss Spence, don't get caught in 4K.
What?
Don't get caught.
What?
Don't don't let Sean get you caught in 4K.
Anyway, what were we talking about? The goal to 11, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
I think we exercise. The Bills. Ghost beat them. I mean, we've shown the ability to beat them. Um,
I can't, Sean.
we shown one the ability to beat them last year. Excuse me, in the beginning of the season did not show the ability to compete, but at the end of the season did show the ability to compete, to be in that game. uh just didn't finish it off, and that's why I said you have to know how to win. You have to get that part down. You have to know what you have to go to when you need that field goal or when you need that touchdown. So I think that a lot of the pieces are here now. Let's see, we should be at least 4-2 in the division,
Mm.
3-1 in the South. That's 73 right there, at the least, fam. I respectfully agree with that.
You know what? See, but this is interesting. He says 4-2 in the division.
Yeah,
Now, me
I
personally, I feel like we're gonna sweep the Patriots. That's 1-2 right there, right?
wait.
Um,
You said you're gonna sweep the Patriots. That's 2-0 if you sweep them.
no, no, no. Oh, sorry, I meant like 1-2 wins.
Oh,
Sorry.
1-2. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
like win one and win two. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. So 2-0, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do believe we'll beat the Jets once at least. I'm gonna go with at home more than away.
Mm.
That's the third one, and then fourth one, I do believe again at home we will be the Bills. So I'm with him. I think we'll split with the Jets. We'll split with the Bills and sweep the Patriots. So I'm right there with him. As far as 3-1 versus the South, I think he's feeling very confident as far as
That's what I feel. Yeah.
we'll lose to the Texans and
Eh,
probably beat the Jaguars, Colts, and Tennessee. And you know what? That's not a bad look at all. Until his point. And shout out to CB83 for bringing this up. That's 7-3 right there. So if we were to take care of the ones that we should be taking care of, which, like he says, that's 7-3. That means that we only need. Let me pull up the schedule again, guys, because that's why I like to bring visual. I'm a visual person, so. So if we do go 7-3 outside of the division and the South, right?
mhm.
Let me take this out real quick. Um, we have that leaves us with Seattle,
Mhm.
Cardinals,
Hey.
Rams,
Mhm.
Packers,
Mhm.
Raiders, Browns, and San Fran.
Yeah, I have us
Okay.
three. I have us 3-1 against the NFC West too.
Okay. So, okay. Well, that means the Cardinals that means the Rams will beat the Seahawks and then lose to the Niners.
You never know. That's why I said I don't call it any particular way. We could go
Okay.
4-0. At least 3-1.
But if we go 3-1, that'll put us at what? 10-4.
Mhm.
Holy smokes. But wait a minute. Now we got the NFC North where we play well, at least Green Bay Packers. So we play the Packers this year.
Mhm.
Are we beating Jordan Love or no?
Excuse me.
Are we beating Jordan Love? You need 11 wins. Are we beating Jordan Love or no?
Yes.
Mm. Are we beating the Raiders?
Absolutely.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your 11 wins right there. Well, technically 12 if we beat both two plus the ones we mentioned. So,
Like I said, we'll see how it plays out. But like here's my question, right? And
go ahead.
I've been listening to a lot of these spaces, especially within the teams in our division. Always going to give respect to the Bills. It is
Mm-hmm.
what it is. Like I said, you're not a playoff team until you win a playoff game.
Do it. Yeah.
We have to beat the Bills and show that we can do it consistently. Doing it one year is cute and it's fun and it's
It
groundbreaking.
was it
It
was
was it was it
awesome.
was
It was
groundbreaking.
awesome.
It
It
was a
was.
moment. It was a moment. That countdown, it still lives in my head rent free. But
Mm-hmm.
do you think? Do you think? And respectfully, right? I've seen what we have been able to accomplish consistently against the Jets defense, right? It's not as if we are lacking for points when our team is out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Granted, we have a good offense. You
Mm-hmm.
should, right? Boom. They have a good defense.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
That's
I just read this and I was like, it literally
it's
stopped me.
possible. It's very possible.
But
Like
this is this. But
it's
hold on, hold
extreme.
on.
It should
I
happen.
agree though. This is what this is the thing. This is man, Lewis. You need to come up here, yo. Lewis, Color, CV, come up here, guys.
But
But listen,
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I had to highlight it because I'm like, this is another reason why my first point was why I was so adamant about this first point. Based on the replacements on paper, it shouldn't be a huge drop off. So I expect this to be a high producing offense again. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
that means I had us, and like I told you, we'll split with the Bills, but I do believe we'll win at home. So Jaguars W, Bills W, Seattle W, Tennessee. They don't have what's his name anymore, the coach,
Braves.
Vrabel. So W. Patriots, we're sweeping them W. Week 6, we get the bye. Beautiful. That's already a W because we get some rest. Then we got by then, my prediction is week 7 is when Phillips comes back, in my opinion. I think he'll come back after week 5. He'll have to buy. He'll have them 2 weeks to be able to get his body prepped for, and it'll be a good game for him to come back. He'll
Hmm.
come back for week 7 versus the Colts.
Hmm.
W. Cardinals at home, which is also fan club weekend, guys. So remember, it's fan club weekend. Cardinals, which you better be here for. So remember, that's gonna be a lot of fun. That's another W. Once we go to Buffalo Bills, week 9, ladies and gentlemen, that means that the Dolphins will be 7-0 all the way up to week 9, 7-0. And I think that is 100% not a probability, an actual legitimate thing that could happen if we go ahead and take care of business. This is year 3 in the same offense. Again, we didn't lose in the offense, in my opinion. We didn't lose too much. We were able to bring comparable pieces back. Now we have depth, if anything, more depth. So, yeah. And we get Phillips back by then. Man, and don't let us mess around and beat the Bills twice. And because if we beat, we beat the Bills twice, bro.
Honest. Listen, that's the mystery, right? Shout out to Shake Money in the
What
building.
a sick
Thank
money
you.
in the building was
Another amazing in the blender show
another
last
look at
night.
the facts.
Another.
Good morning. And my neighbors is another beautiful day in Zamunda. Yes, it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
That's the mystery, right? What is Buffalo going to look like, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of people are like waiting. You ever seen Trading Places
Mm. Is
with
that
Eddie
like
Murphy?
when they switch out the
Yeah, yeah,
wives or whatever
yeah,
of a
absolutely.
family and then
Not the whole family, but basically the friend. Well, they
yeah.
basically switch two people,
Mhm.
and like it's like a nature versus nurture type experiment. But they're
Mhm.
like, they're all waiting for like the orange juice, like that stock to go to see like for the report of the orange juice, right? Like the
Mhm.
major final scene where they're able to make all their money and stuff like that, right? And they're just looking up at the thing and they're waiting to see what the report is going to say because people have been buying and selling futures of it, for the last what, I don't know, like movie time, what, like 3 minutes, whatever. But
Mhm.
in real life time, way longer than that, right? But you're waiting for the crop
Mhm.
report to drop, right, on oranges for orange juice, futures and stuff like that, right? And like everybody's just looking up and waiting, right? I feel like that's what it is, like with Buffalo, right? You don't know. You are quietly hoping, quietly hoping, but there still is that guy Josh Allen, and you don't know until you know, right? So
Mhm. Mhm.
when you go into it with the mindset of, hey, last year, right? My thing is like this. Last year, week 18, we competed, right? Didn't go our
We
way.
did.
Some crazy thing happened, right? Like a crazy touchdown in the back of the end zone to Trent Sherfield, right?
Yeah.
Then you have listen, a punt return is a punt return. They're very few and far. So they executed, we didn't. We got caught on our heels, and they punished us for it, right? T- get a tackle. It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So, but the fact that you are like that, we were able to compete. I'm very interested in week 2. I'm very interested in what
Mm. Mm.
Buffalo can do. But my question is, and respectfully, right? Because I never want to write anyone off or put anyone out to pasture before, their time has come. Are we giving the Jets too much respect?
We have to. We have to.
Why?
Two things.
Why?
Two things and two things only. They still have a top 5 defense in my opinion. A, and I will always ride
That
with that.
that 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 we torture, but go ahead.
Well, it's still top 5. That don't mean that we can't torch it, but still top 5, so we still gotta give it respect. And two was I really don't like it, but yes, Aaron Rodgers. Until the man goes down, you gotta give him some respect. That's it.
By default, we're taught to do that.
That's it by default. It ain't
By
because
default, and my thing is like this. I'm very intrigued to see what it is going to
if
be.
he makes it to the next play, yes, me
But like,
too.
stop. But like, here's the thing, right? Even if he comes,
Yes.
like, even if he like comes, out a little slow, sluggish, right? People are like,
Hmm.
oh, he's getting the rust off of the injury, blase, blase, blah. And it's like, how good do you have to be when you have a top five defense, right?
Yeah.
I think listen, if we get them at home and week 18 barring that we don't have to sit our players and blase blase blah, like depending how we look against them, I would not be surprised if we sweep the Jets again. I would not be surprised. Like I
Ooh.
I un- I understand giving Aaron Rodgers his overdue flowers and all that, blase blase blah, cry me a river, it is what it is.
Yeah, I
Cool.
can't stand him, but whatever.
Cool. But us having our defense back by that time, fully healthy, hopefully fully healthy, fully intact. You don't know what's going to happen, but having our pass rushers back and stuff like that, and he's not able to move like he used to. Like that was the thing about Aaron, right? He could get out the pocket, he could
Hmm.
move.
Extend the
He
play.
can extend the play, all that type of
Exactly.
stuff. I still got to see what that O line looks like. Okay, like we got to see what ours look like, but we also got to see what theirs looks like. At least Tua can move a little bit. You feel me? Tua can he has great
Yeah.
pocket presence and pocket awareness, right? Last year, what we saw week one from that, it looked like before an injury even happened, it did not look
He did not feel comfortable in that pocket.
it
Period.
it did not. And for all the hype around it, right? Like I was telling Jets fans, like I'm tired of the hype fatigue. Like I'm fatigued off of it. Y'all got to go out there and prove that you're worthy,
Execute. Yep.
right? Like you're not even talking about it like as much as you were last year. Like, do I believe the Jets could be good? They could be, but
Could be
but
good.
am I banking on a 40-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles injury who'd rather go to Egypt than like I get it. You're so good that you don't even have to show up for your guys. All you have to do is be there for training camp. Cool. You knew what the schedule was and you purposely planned a trip to Egypt around it. Like it's another like I'm Aaron Rodgers.
And I do what I
F
want.
you, no offense, sorry PBS kids. I'ma do
Mm.
what I want. And y'all and there's nothing you can do about it because you have hitched your wagon to me and the faith of your franchise to me. I'm sorry. After that, I'm not 100% bought in, sold in on this Jets team, and I get it. Oh, it's Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, this is not 2012 Aaron Rodgers. This is not 2013 Aaron Rodgers. We are a decade removed from this. This is not prime Aaron Rodgers. He is not on a stacked team like Tom Brady was. He is not on a stacked team like Peyton Manning was. Sorry, not sorry. It is what it is. And I'm sitting here and I'm saying, you know what? We could split with him. Sure. Cool. Give all the respect to him. Had a great career. All that talent. All that talent. Amazing. Wonderful. Went to the Super Bowl once. I'm not I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling these nonsense narratives that they're giving. You either gotta put it on the field and show me or I'm not going to respect it. Like I can't. You 40 years old. You're obviously not as committed as you were last year.
I
And
feel you. I feel you. But listen,
this you
listen.
have a no, Miss Fins.
I got it.
This franchise. Listen,
Never mind. I gotta
respectfully,
let you cook. Shout out to
re-
Big Money. Turn up,
respectfully,
insanity. Turn up.
this franchise gave Aaron Rodgers everything, and look for it. Look at it. It all came for naught. Think about the players that he had come in. Where was their productivity at all? At all. You can't tell me that you're only a productive player was Aaron Rodgers. Like, no, either
Ooh,
you're good or you're not.
Mm.
Like, this is what he did to that
girl.
organization. Mind you, I love it because it's the Jets. It's downright disrespectful. They became the official yes men. Like anything and everything he wanted to make him happy. And then you follow it up the next offseason with basically saying, eh, yeah, mm,
Tell me how you really
like,
feel.
like what, like, respectfully. I think he thinks you know how sometimes in your mind it hasn't hit you that you're not who you used to be.
Yeah.
I think in Aaron's mind, he is still that guy that he used to be. Yes, he'll be the guy that will throw the ball, you know, out of bounds instead of throwing a pick. Smart play, right? Cool. You bring in running backs so that you can have, a better running game outside of, Brees, right? I think they brought in like Allen, like whoever that was, whoever that kid is. I mean, I got to go back and look, right? But
Yes.
respectfully, not scared of Mike Williams, not scared of Garrett. Like we got cornerbacks too. Like what are we doing here? Like what are we doing here? Like I do not in any way
Braylon
have the
Allen.
faith. They think Braylon Allen. I do not have the faith that Aaron Rodgers is going to go out and have an MVP season. I do not have the faith that Aaron Rodgers is 100% bought in to winning. I do not have the faith that the Jets are going to take a step forward. And you can say, "Oh well, as long as we get competent QB play," you don't even know if you're going to get that from them. You're banking off of a name. You're banking off of a name,
But
and it
they
is what
got
it is.
Chuck Clark though. And DJ
Yo,
Reed.
man,
And Sauce.
it is what it is, man. It is.
Finsanity is spot on. Finsanity. Listen,
Go ahead,
somebody
Lewis. Welcome, Lewis. Welcome,
go
welcome.
go to TFTG tonight and pick you up a damn apron, Finsanity, because you're cooking right now. The
Thank you. I
simple
finally
fact,
got one. Let's go.
yeah, the simple fact is, Aaron Rodgers had better teams with Green Bay when he was very productive and younger, and Finsanity was spot on. He went to one Super Bowl and he won it. Cool. The
Oh,
man's played 20 plus years and has accomplished nothing. Because when we talk about
thank you.
MVPs and stuff, when it comes to Tua putting himself in that conversation, everybody says MVPs don't matter if you're not winning. Well, Aaron Rodgers wasn't winning. So I don't care how many MVPs he
Mm,
had or what he's done.
mm,
He's done nothing.
mm.
Right? The simple fact is, my favorite quarterback of all time was Dan Marino. I don't know about you ladies. After Dan Marino's Achilles injuries, he was never the same. And he was about 7 to 8 years younger when that happened to Dan Marino. You mean to tell me coming off an Achilles when he's 41 years old, you really think, again, Finsanity was spot on. This is not the 2012 Aaron Rodgers. This is not
It's not.
2013. This is 2024 Aaron Rodgers. The Jets, in my opinion, are a 7-9 football team, maybe 8-8. You want to give them 8-8? They'll be 500. Cool story.
Yeah.
By
No.
midpoint of the season, I'll give you ladies a hot take. I think Robert Saleh is up out of there. I
No
think
way.
Robert Saleh
Don't get
doesn't
rid
even
of him?
finish. I don't even think he finishes this season. I think they're going to be mediocre. And Finsanity was spot on again, right? Aaron Rodgers, since he became a New York Jet, they have gave him everything he's wanted, including the new offensive coordinator in this guy Hackett or whatever. I always forget his first name. The guy that he was with,
Nathaniel.
Aaron in Green
Yeah.
Bay, Nathaniel Hackett in Green Bay. Thank you, Finsanity. I believe Aaron Rodgers will start throwing his little hissy fits like he always does, blaming players, blaming coaches for him not showing up to training camps and mandatory stuff. Robert Saleh, in my opinion, doesn't even finish out this season. Nathaniel Hackett is moving forward, the new offensive coordinator slash head coach of the New York Jets. The Jets are not going nowhere. This is a two-team race in the AFC East, and really,
Man, Lewis.
it's just a one-team race. It's the Miami Dolphins year.
Ooh.
Period.
Ooh, so it's the Dolphins division to lose again, is what you're saying.
1,000%. And this
Okay.
year, I don't. And this year, Miss Phins, I don't think we lose it.
Man, those are some, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Fans, you heard it here from the prominent content creator, Mr. Lewis, the Rabbit Dolphin from the Phins Tailgate. Thank you so much, Luke, for coming. Man, to be honest with you, I'm so glad you guys are saying all this because I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. Like, I have to play devil's advocate just to keep the conversation going, but my God, I can't stand it. For all the stuff that people tell me, oh my God, he's the greatest quarterback. Greatest what? The only reason why the Packers even won that Super Bowl is because they were coming off a high of finally getting rid of Brett Favre. So I'm like, don't talk to me. That man has done nothing. He's done nothing in this league. You know what he is? Dak Prescott with a Super Bowl. That's it. Perennially in the playoffs, and then does nothing else. To me, he's average at
Eh,
best.
eh.
Nope, nope. I don't want to hear it. He to me is average. I want to hear it because to
Listen,
me, he
listen.
hasn't done
Re-
nothing.
respectfully, Dak is not in the conversation with Aaron Rodgers. Like, period.
I
No,
meant in the sense of
of right
always
now.
being in playoffs. No, no, I meant in the sense of always being in the playoffs and doing nothing. You see what I mean? Like, oh, you
Here's the
got to
thing.
the NFC and lost. You got to the second round and lost. You got to the first round and lost. Like
Got to the
the
championship and let Raheem
entire
Mostert
time
run all over him. Anyway, no,
in the entire time, all
no,
20
but
years.
no, but
But
listen,
okay.
listen. Like, respectfully, like I said, Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback. You know, back in the 2010s, one of the best in the league. One of the best, right? You could not have asked for anything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay solid. Send him out the pasture. Man, the man was like, I'm going to retire. I'm going on a darkness retreat, and when I get out, just because he's an attention succulent, everybody's waiting. Oh, is he going to go to the Jets? And yeah, I'm going to go to the Jets if the Jets give me everything I want. That's it. That's it.
I think he might have meant it as a joke, and they actually did give him everything he wanted. And they're
No,
like,
no,
"Oh,
it wasn't a joke. No,
I
it was not a
gotta,
joke.
I
It
gotta
was not a
actually
joke.
play now."
That whole list of demands that was reported, like, bring these players, and I want all. Yes, that was not a joke. It was true because it all happened. It his dreams came true. His dreams came true. He that's what like the need and the want to be the center of attention. It's like, you know what? The Jets aren't getting enough media coverage. I need to do things to put my name back out there. You know what? I'm going to miss camp. For what? For what? For what? Like, you're not like, it does not give, like, when Brady went to the Bucks, you felt it. Like, you were like, you know what? He's going to a good team, good offense. They need a
Yeah.
quarterback, right? Boom. Cool. He was bought in. Granted, did not have the best of a regular season, but once the postseason came,
It was only the first half of the season as
first
they
half
were
of the
getting
season,
acclimated, and
right,
then after that, you saw them cooking, which is the reason why they were able to get into the playoffs.
right. Playoff time turned up. Playoff Denny became a
Mm-hmm.
thing. Cool, right? Respectfully, Peyton goes to the Broncos, right? Killing it with the offensive numbers, stats. I think he had like a 50 touchdown season one of those years, whatever. They realized they needed, to get defense, brought defense. He won a Super Bowl. When I hear Jets fans using that as their reasoning why Aaron Rodgers is not in a conversation with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Just the work ethic and
Thank you.
and the determination,
Thank you.
the focus of
Thank
what it
you.
takes to be an elite quarterback or to be one of the best. Absolutely not. Even all the stupid propaganda of, am I coming back? If I'm not, and then it comes out, he was never ready to come back. Oh, I'm gonna come back every week on Pat McAfee. Are you coming back? Are you coming? And he knew he was never going to be ready. He was not ready to get back on that field with his Achilles in the state that it was. Oh, I'm
Mm.
gonna go out there and throw a ball.
Mm.
Like, he wants to be the center. He's more reality TV QB than actual QB to me right now. If he was, head down, just working, grinding, and all this type of stuff, trying to stay out of the woodworks. I literally cannot wait for the New York media to rip him a new one.
Oh my goodness, man,
They
you really have a disdain for him. I
no,
thought I
I have
was
no,
the
no,
only
no. I
one.
don't have a disdain for Aaron Rodgers. What I have a disdain for,
His
and I want
behavior,
this to be very
his
clear.
attitude.
No, 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 no. Is a Jets team that feels like they are going to be better than the Miami Dolphins when one, they have not been, and two, they're hitching themselves to results unseen, right? We've seen Tua play. We've seen
Yes.
Tua lead this team to double-digit wins, right? You have not seen this. What you have seen is your team coming up short every single year. What you have seen is your team having to 1% rely on its defense to get things done. My thing is like this. What you have seen is that defense, when Tua Tagovailoa steps on the field against them, shredding them. Now, granted, yeah, they get their interception, they get their little pieces. Cute. Ha ha ha. That's the only way you've been able to score. It is what it is.
Mm.
You cannot tell me with a straight face that you think that you are true Super Bowl contenders with that guy as your leader. He has never shown a leadership quality. He has never been balled in. It's always been gimme, gimme, gimme what I want.
So they're hyped. That's all you're saying. They're
It's
just
it's
hyped.
beyond. It's listen. It's beyond me. I was here for it in 2023. The flag, the whole ceremonious things, 9/11. God rest the
Mhm.
souls that the amazing people that we lost that day.
Mhm.
The whole propaganda around it, right? And this is what you give us. And then you want us to believe that, oh no, we'll be fine next year. No, you're not. You're not. You're in a burning house and the smoke alarms are going off and you're trying to throw it out, like put it out with buckets of water. But once September comes and you say our schedule, they're playing the same opponents except for what, three,
Yeah.
respectfully. So yeah, miss me with that.
Mm.
Miss me with that.
So the Dolphins are going 5-1 in the division. We're sweeping the Jets. We're
I
sweeping
believe
the
we could.
Patriots,
I believe we
and
could.
only losing one time to the Bills, and that will
Allegedly.
be Week 9, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Don't let the Dolphins mess around and actually beat the Bills twice, man.
Nah, like I said, I still respect the Bills. We don't know what we're getting from them, so until we know what we're getting,
Yeah,
a split is what we can hope for, right?
exactly.
So that's what we have to hope for because we have
Oh,
not shown
oh
to
no
be
no
able to
no 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 no
consistently
no no
beat
no
them.
no 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 no.
Should
We're
we be?
winning week 2.
We should. We
We're
should.
winning week 2. Listen, we're
Yeah,
winning week 2.
we should. We should have won week 18.
What week was it?
Hmm?
18. I call that. I call these last 3 games murderers row.
No, I'm saying last year we should have beat the Bills week 18, but we didn't.
I know we did it, and then they give us the Jets week 18. I can't stand these schedule makers, man. I'm telling you. But
I
look at
love
this.
I love having the Jets. Well, I don't like that we're in New Jersey
Oh well,
week
you
18.
love it because it's right there for you.
No, but I don't like that we're gonna be in New Jersey week 18. I would have rather, and honestly, personally, it is funny that they have us, getting the Bills done and over with before like the second half of the season. I thought that was very hilarious, right?
Yeah, look at the schedule. Like for me, I call it murderers row week 15, 16, 17, and
I don't
18.
nah,
Man,
I don't think it's murderers.
it
Listen,
is absolutely murderers row.
respectfully,
All three playoff teams, back to back to back.
yeah, it's going to be competitive games, and respectfully, I think the Dolphins can win three of those games, definitely two of them.
We've got 5 December games again.
Hmm. I don't look at us through the lens of being that team that doesn't have that's not good enough, and like we're just hoping for a prayer, like we're hoping that somehow we find a way. to beat these teams. I look at it as a team that can compete with these teams and that can beat these teams. It's about our execution. And if we
That
can
is
show
true.
and if we can show that we can execute, we should be fine.
Hey, shout out to Sal. I saw Sal here in the building. What's up to our resident Bills fans, and to obviously Red White and Bills, aka Shaw. Go check him out and sub to his channel. What's up to Mark K? What's up, Mark?
Shout
And
out to
to
Mark.
Michael K. I saw him here too.
Hmm.
Mark says, I think the Dolphins start 0-3 with no Chubb fillers, get beat by the Colts, lose to Buffalo, Jets, Cleveland, Houston, Rams,
I
Green
bet
Bay, 8 wins at best.
I bet Mark don't want to put no money on that.
I think
It's real easy to type things out and come into a chat and just talk your talk. But again, and I watched Finsanity absolutely demolish someone yesterday, right? Put your money up if that's what you feel. If you feel the Dolphins have 8 wins and all these teams listed, I'll bet you we don't even have to do the full bet. I'll bet you that Miami don't start 0-3. And you can name the price. I'm good with whatever price you want to name out, Mark. You name the price, and I'll take that bet. You let me know. Now watch, Miss Phins. Mark won't respond to that. Mark will say he don't bet. Mark will say, "Well, why you typing that dumb ass? Well, I'm sorry. Why you typing that dumb stuff in the chat then? Because you just talking. People just like to talk, but don't want to put their money up. Put your money up if that's what you feel. Bet me that the Dolphins win 8 or less games. Let's make that bet.
I don't know if people wanna do that, because I mean,
Nah, he won't.
you know
He
what?
don't
And you
want
know
to.
what? Respectfully to Mark's point, because he's 100% wrong, but let's try to, whatever.
ooh,
No Chubb or Phillips. That's cool. We can outscore any team in the first 3 weeks. We can outscore them. We can get defensive stops. Like, I don't like, it is what it is. We have pass rushers here. It's fine.
I mean, we just
And
picked
listen,
up.
you know what? And
Go
you
ahead,
know
go
what?
ahead, go ahead.
I get it. I see why he thought that was a point to be made. I get it. I understand that in his heart of hearts, he truly believed that. Cool. Not a problem. We can outscore Jacksonville, we can outscore Buffalo, and we can outscore Geno and them.
In Seattle. Yep.
We can do it. We can do it. Listen, DK versus, Ramsey, gonna be a show. Gonna be great. Gonna be fun.
It's gonna be
Gonna love
crazy.
it.
That's what it's gonna be.
Gonna love it. It's gonna
Hey,
be
how
That's
exciting.
gonna be
many
crazy.
how many sacks did Shaq Barrett have last year with Tampa Bay? I think it was a bad kind of an off year, but how many sacks did he have? Okay, so he had 5, right?
Something like
Let's
that. I
say
don't know.
5, right?
At
Five
least.
and
Yeah.
a half, something like that. Okay. Didn't Calais Campbell have 6.5 last year with
Yep.
Atlanta?
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't Zach Seiler have 10.5 last year?
Yep.
Yeah. And it should have been
Are
11. Let's be real. It should have been 11.
absolutely. Are those guys going to be there week 1, week 2, week 3? Are those guys going to be there?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Didn't we draft a first round pass rusher in Chop Robinson? Ain't he going to be there week 1?
Yep.
Yeah, actually, he will be starting, in my opinion.
You think Mo Kamara might get a little run in these games if Chubbs
The
and
New
Phillips
Jersey
ain't there?
Devil himself will be
The
there.
new
Yes.
you think he might be there for insane? I mean, this
The New Jersey
narrative that
Devil will be there. Yes. The New Jersey
this
Devil will be there.
absolutely like this narrative that Miami don't have no pass rushers. Like, what are these people talking about? Like, make it make sense to me. Like, what are we talking about here?
Listen, and you know what? Because I think Mark is a Bills fan, if I believe correctly, right?
Yes, he is.
I think, realistically, right? We have been chopping at their heels. You feel me? Like, the gap from when Tua first came into the league to the gap now, and it's as if we are ready to pass them. We have to do it. We have to go out there and beat them and win, right? Because we completely gave it up last year. It's on us. We didn't handle our business and stuff like that. And that's the realization. You feel me? We let a Tennessee game get away from us, and it is what it is. And that's why it comes down week to week. But saying we're going to start 0-3, that's that's disdain. That is venomous. That is like, I don't even know what the Bills schedule is, but like I said, we're still waiting to see what
Oh,
they will do. You know what Miami is going to look like. You know that they're going to run the ball down your throat. You know Tua is going to hit the middle of the field. You know that there will be a deep pass to Tyreek Hill for a touchdown. You know what to expect when expecting. It's cool.
talking about the bill schedule, I
It's
was looking it
cool.
up because I'm like, you know what? I didn't want to do this because I was like, "Ah, let
They
me
gave him the
not."
Patriots week 18. Like, come on. Like, when you
But
get like,
you know what? Now they're asking for it. So let's turn this puppy over since we're
it's
talking about the
crazy. We were talking
Dolphins.
about the Jets, and he had to interject himself into this. Like,
Here it is. I pull it up right now. There you go. That is the bill schedule this year.
um,
That is their schedule. So they have uh September 8th. So they got the Cardinals first. They're at home at the Cardinals. Then
hmm
they go
That's
to
a
the Dolphins.
that's a loss.
Oh, that's definitely a loss for the Dolphins. Yeah. Then they got at home the Jags. They have now they're traveling three straight to the Ravens, loss, to
Loss.
the Texans, loss, to the Jets.
interesting.
That's
We'll just say interesting.
interesting. Then they come home, play the Tennessee Titans. Then they go to Seattle. Then they're at home versus the Dolphins. Then they go to the Colts.
That's
And
interesting.
then yeah, that was interesting too. And then they're at home versus the Chiefs, and we know that's a loss for them. Then they got the bye week. Then they're gonna be at home versus San Francisco. That's a loss. Then they go and travel 2 weeks straight to the Rams and to the Lions.
That's losses.
Yep. Then they're at home for two straight. They got the Patriots. They got the Jets at home, and then they
Mhm.
got Patriots left. Man, they got an easy schedule at the end. That is some
Oh, but they're
BS.
going to be out of it.
By then, I mean,
What do we have? Ravens, Texans, Chiefs, San Fran, LA,
Dolphins.
Detroit, Dolphins. That's 7. So that's 10. And respectfully,
That's a,
like I said, we
this
don't
is
know. Like, you know what? They did find a formula, run the ball with James, and hopefully minimize Josh's, interceptions. Like, in a perfect world, like, but we don't know what that defense is going to be. It'll be interesting to see. But yeah,
this is very interesting because if you take a look at it, look this schedule. I mean, let's go the first five. Cardinals, hmm, Dolphins definitely a loss. Jaguars,
I think they'll
toss
beat the
up.
Cardinals. I don't know. That's the thing, because
I think it's a toss up.
you don't know who they are. Like, if it was the
Nine and
Bills of
six.
last year, I would be like,
Nine
okay,
and six.
they could beat the
Nine and
Cardinals.
six. 9 and 6.
But we're
The
picking
man
on
couldn't even score a touchdown versus the Jaguars.
we're,
9 and 6. I don't care what nobody tells me.
you
At
think
least we
Josh?
put up 28. We put up 28 points to the Jags. We lost. We shouldn't have. But they couldn't even do a touchdown, man. 9 and 6. That's all. I'm gonna stick to that down our throats every single time.
I see nine
So
and eight on the schedule all day long. I think the Bills win 9 games this season.
mm, mm.
Yeah.
Well, we got 7 losses for them. That would make it what or 8 and 9,
10-7.
10 and 7. So that was at least, and you know they're gonna lose to a team they shouldn't lose. So that would be 8 losses. Yeah, 9 and 8. They're not making the playoffs with no 9 and 8. You need a minimum of 11. You have to think about it.
Let me think.
The AFC, you're
Uh-huh.
getting Burrow back. You're getting Deshaun Watson back. The Chiefs are stacking up again. The people forget that one of the major reasons why the AFC was even like doable last year, even semi decent, was because you had 4 out of the top 10 QBs out due to injury, and unfortunately, it includes Rodgers.
You know what? I
But
will say this:
Yeah, but we
Josh
got
Allen,
to stop.
he
We got
gonna
to
he gonna
stop.
have to earn that top two quarterback. Go ahead, Deuce. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. No, I was just gonna say we got to stop saying Cleveland's getting Deshaun back. The man's been back. He's been again. It's gonna sound like I'm trying to trash him, right? I was on the Deshaun Watson train. Everybody remembers when it was a
Yeah, me too.
conversation. I was like, go get him, right? But since he's returned, the man's been a train wreck in the NFL. Let's just call it what it is. The man's been horrible. It is what it is. So I think I'm off the Cleveland got Deshaun back. Nah, that's another one. We always talk about what Tua has to do to earn things. And again, we all agree on that. Well, Deshaun Watson, for me at least, he has to start winning and going back to form of the Deshaun Watson I remember in Houston because he's not that guy anymore. And until I see that guy, I can't just give him that because of what he did 4 years ago, 5 years
mm,
ago. No, he's not that guy anymore until
mm.
proven otherwise. So at least for me, I don't believe like, oh, we got to watch out for Cleveland. No, I don't believe that.
Okay, hey, it's a fair point. You know what I mean? It's a fair point. If we're gonna do the same thing with what do you call it? With Rodgers, it makes sense for us that we do it with Deshaun Watson too. You know what I mean? But again, coming off multiple injuries, that's why I gave him that grade. But again, we'll see. We'll see. I still think that, in my opinion, he's gonna be pretty decent QB for them. So I'm not off the Deshaun, but I'm with you. He's gonna have to prove it now. It's been too many times that he hasn't really performed. And he's got a squad. That defense alone, man, that defense alone won him 4 games last year. The defense. Now imagine if he actually were to put it together in the offense. Yeah. We match up well versus Cleveland, says Color. We've beaten them the last 2 meetings. Yeah, that is true. But like I said, Jose agrees that defense though is really good. We'll see. Funny enough, nobody really talks about Watson. Yeah, I guess they don't. I guess not as much. But ladies and gentlemen, that's why I posed this question. Like, could the Dolphins realistically make could they make the playoffs again? And we kind of went through some pointers here as far as to Finsanity's point, have to get to 11 games. That's cool or whatever. I said, based on the roster and the people that we brought in, it's been comparable. So I do see how there shouldn't be that big of a drop off. You know what I mean? But my main thing now, since we got Lewis up here, is what would stop? This is a question I wanted to ask to both of you guys. What would stop the Dolphins from returning to the playoffs and this time winning a game? What would be that? What would have to happen? Obviously, it's all hypothetical. It's just projection, trying to see what could ultimately happen if that would stop us from being able to actually get back to the playoffs.
Well, the only thing for me is injuries. I'm sorry. I think this team is loaded. I think if you hear David Long Jr. the other day, he was talking, and he said he feels very comfortable in this defense. It is going back to like some of the things he used to do when he was with the Tennessee Titans. I just like the aggressive style and the approach that Coach Weaver is going to bring to this defense,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think it fits our players well. And I absolutely think, again, first year in this offense, we were six. Last year, we were number one. I think McDaniel, third year in, he's going to start figuring some more things out. I think he's going to be better. I think Tua, with a deal or not, I do believe Tua is going to have a good season. I think we win this division hands down, right? I think we host playoff games, so at least one of them, at least. And for me, that's the only thing that's going to stop this team this year is injuries. If the Miami Dolphins can, again, week 18 or 16, 17, 18, everybody's dealing with something, right? Yeah,
Yep.
me and CB were having a conversation yesterday, and there's a difference between being injured and being hurt, right? Everybody
Yeah.
in week 16, 17, 18 is going to be a
Hurt.
little hurt, bumps and bruises, going into the playoffs, bumps and
Yeah.
bruises, right? But if this team can stay fairly healthy, right? I'm talking about our main guys there. I don't listen. I've been saying it. I think the Miami Dolphins can play with anybody in this league from a roster standpoint, and I do believe they are going to figure it out on the field. I like the Dolphins' chances this year to represent the AFC in at least the AFC Championship game. I do think Miami makes a run this year.
God. Man, that I love that. I love
It's
that.
injuries. It's injuries for me, Miss Fans. That's the
It's
only thing
gonna.
that's standing in this team's way. It's injury.
Hmm, okay. For sanity.
I 100% agree. There's nothing for me to add to that. The Dolphins are one of the best teams in the NFL, and we need to be respected as much. And if we are lining up with our guys versus another team's guys, we got a chance. And if you're talking about, this division, there's not a team better constructed than us, from offense to defense, to even having the consistency within special teams with our kicker, punter, whatever. I don't foresee us, having to punt too much, but sometimes, you do, things happen. But what we have, the completeness, not only the completeness, the depth, the rotation. There's not a team in our division that stacks up against us group for group. If you want to talk about Josh Allen being the best quarterback in the division, cool. You can have that. But when it comes to
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I thought it was only me. I guess you cut out.
Okay, for a minute there, yeah. For a minute there, I was like, wait, was it me? I was trying to see if it was me or not, but I guess, man, she was cooking too.
Did you lose
She,
Yeah,
me? I'm
she,
sorry. Did
yeah,
you
we
lose me?
lost you
I'm
for
yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Sandy.
What was the last thing you heard? I'm sorry. What's the last thing you heard?
Well, you started off by saying that you absolutely agree with Lewis,
Yeah.
and then you mentioned that with the way that this team is being put together, and then it kind of just like the.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Like with not only the completeness, the depth that we have, when it comes to the Miami Dolphins, we are the best constructed team in this division.
Hmm.
I think, position group by position group, we are one of the best. You can talk about Josh Allen being the best quarterback in this division. You can have that. I don't care. When it comes down to the team, though, whose team is the best? We are the better team. We got to go out and execute. We got to go out there and improve it and show it.
Mm.
You can talk about the Jets defense. Cool. Tua has been torching it since he's been on the field with them. Torching it. Torching. Torch. Like so the Jets defense can be big and bad against whomever, whenever, however. When Tua is on that field, they are not a top 5 defense. It does not statistically add up to me in my mind that they are. The Dolphins, the only way, the only way, the
Hmm.
only kryptonite, and it has been our kryptonite,
Talk to me.
is injuries. But the depth that Chris Greer has given us, I think we can have people in place. As long as they are not season ending, we will be back at the end of the season. We will be back in the playoffs stacked.
But so many teams can say that
Who?
though.
Hey,
Who?
hey, Miss Fins, real quick, can you
What's up?
put
What's up?
that last comment? Who the eyeballs? Who can you put that
Hmm.
thing back? Who the hell is that?
Hey,
That's a legend. That's an
what's
icon.
up, Ian? One of the super goats.
Big
Never
brother.
heard of him.
He-
Never heard of him.
Nah, like respect, like no.
What's up, Liz? Welcome, Liz.
Shout out
Welcome,
to
welcome,
shout out to
welcome.
Liz. Respectfully,
Mhm.
when you look at the teams in this division, right? Yes, a lot of the top teams, and that's why you're a top team, right? Because you have depth and you have good players, you have good personnel, right? Right?
Mhm.
You wouldn't be
Yes,
a
ma'am.
top team with like you.
Yes,
No
ma'am.
tea, no shade. You're not going to be a top team if you don't have the personnel. The Miami Dolphins have the personnel, and when I
Mhm.
look within the division, right, trying not to have a homer lens, right, but just trying to be as objective as I can with the rosters that are in place, right? I
Mhm.
understand that Buffalo has a good young tight end in Dalton Kincaid. James Cook, let him cook. Then they have Josh Allen. Cool, right? We don't know what we're going to get on the defensive side of the ball because a lot of that veteran presence has, erupted. So cool. It is what it is, right? You talk about the Jets, right? You got Braylon, they got Brees. Talk about Garrett. You could talk about, Mike Williams has not been Mike Williams in a couple of years. I mean, injuries have been, his downfall. Sad to say, it happens in the NFL. Cool. It is what it is. Got Aaron Rodgers. Okay, cool. Got that defense. We see what we do to that defense. Okay. The Patriots, if May is the second coming, then we just gonna have to deal with that. I don't see it, but they still got Ramondre Stevenson. Not 100% sold on the wide receiving core. I think the Bills just got a wide receiver. Don't know what Keon Coleman. We don't know what he's going to be. Right? So many questions. We
Mm.
don't know what.
Mm.
But I'm saying if you had to, look at these rosters in our division, right?
Yep.
Personally, personally, I feel like we have the most depth and even the starters.
Mm. You were saying,
We're
ma'am?
better.
You were saying,
Our
ma'am?
run. They want to talk about Brees. Our run game is better than Brees. I'm sorry, it is. Not sorry. Like I don't know where we lack. So the only way the Dolphins don't make the playoffs or don't go on a run is if the personnel that we expect to be out there is not out there. But if we are out there, we're winning this division. We're winning it by at least 2-3 games.
You know, one thing that I'm hearing from you that I like the most out of everything that you said so far, it's the sheer and oh man, it looks like we lost our guy Lewis. Um, but thank you, Lewis, for coming up here, man. I think what I like the most is the fact that your level of confidence in the team. I appreciate it. Hey, we got my co-host Color in the building. What's up, Color? How you doing,
Co-host
sir?
second only to this lovely lady next to me, Finsanity.
Ah, yeah, that's true. That's true.
How you
But
ladies doing this morning?
man, we're doing good. We're doing. I appreciate you coming up here. What? Now she's leaving. I
Yeah.
can't deal with this woman. You see what's happening? I was
All
about
right,
to
I
get
just
to
came up.
her.
I just came up quickly to mention something that I put in chat
Talk to me.
uh about our defensive coordinator and all that. Um, so the last time that Calais Campbell, Jalen Ramsey were both on the field together on the same team, their team went to the AFC Championship game and lost to the Patriots. Um, and they had Blake Bortles at quarterback, who threw for 3,600 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. Um, the head coach of that football team was Doug Marrone. Uh,
Mm.
Doug Marrone is one of the coaches that Anthony Weaver worked under as a defensive line coordinator.
Hey man, are
So
you telling me?
I'm just saying, if you were to think about if you were to take Blake Bortles out and plop in Tua with Tyreek and all the and the running backs we got and all that. Our offense, basically. I mean, maybe it won't happen right away on defense, but I mean that's the pedigree we're dealing with. The last time these two players were on the same defense, they got to an AFC Championship game with a terrible offense.
Oh my gosh, so you're telling me all they need is a comparable offense and this defense will get us all the way there?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying the defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver comes from the tutelage of Doug Marrone, as well as others, Rex Ryan, a couple other names, Mike Pettin, guys like that. But yeah, so that I just wanted to point that out because when you talk about are we there or do we ever are we? I mean, you could argue like if things work out the way we expect them to, which is why we hired the personnel we did, then I mean, I don't see why we couldn't eclipse what that Jaguars team did back in 2017. We're not talking about
I remember that, and they were robbed. They were robbed.
Yeah, that's right. They were robbed.
They were robbed. Everybody and their mother said it.
Yep. But I mean, obviously, it's even if they weren't robbed, you still lost to the GOAT. You know what I mean? So, and we're not talking about that different a paradigm. We're only talking about 2017. I mean, Ryan Tannehill was our quarterback, and he's still available to play. Chad Henne was their backup, was Blake Bortles' backup for that team. So we're not talking about like a completely different paradigm here.
Listen, all I
Jalen
know
Ramsey is still the best. You know what I mean? Calais Campbell is still putting out the same numbers.
He is still pulling it out. Yeah, exactly.
Other than the sacks, I mean, his best year on sacks was that year in Jacksonville, but the guy's been consistent. So I mean, I'm just saying they know how to win. Those guys.
Look, I feel very good about being able to have, and this is my main reason why, like I said earlier, why I harped on so much about the replacements. You know what I mean? Because to me, I don't see a huge drop off. I don't know if we're better than only until game day will we know if this is a better team than it was before. But as far as the guys that he brought off this off season, to me, I actually have to give it up to Greer. I think this is his best off season when it comes to getting and replacing talent with talent. And I think that he definitely got this year. I feel very good about the talent that he brought in. I really do. I feel like this is a good replacement, and I don't think it's going to be a huge drop off. I really don't, and I like what I'm seeing from him. And if Weaver does turn out to be, and I'm never worried about the defense. The Dolphins have been led by the defense since our inception. Let's be real. But if we can somehow manage to have this offense, not just in the regular season, but truly at the end of the season, compete, and to Finsanity's point, which she let me know she had a call, so she's not able to. That's what she dropped off. But if we execute at the end of the season, ladies and gentlemen, this roster can withstand anybody, including the Chiefs, which at the end of the day is the only thing that matters at this point.
Yep. Look, and I need to be realistic too. We're 7 years removed from Calais Campbell and Jalen Ramsey, in that
prime, if you will.
But at the same time, we don't need to get that level of performance. We only need that like in spots. You know what I mean? We don't. Their offense was so bad that year. It's amazing that we can say they got robbed. Is why they got. They could have very well won the Super Bowl with that trash offense. you know,
To be honest with you, they
and
probably
we
should
certainly
have.
don't have a trash offense. You know what I mean? So no matter what anybody thinks about Tua,
We
so
probably should have. They should have won. I mean, they should have. They should have gone to the Super Bowl.
I mean,
And
one guy is out of the league, laughed out of the league, and the other is, Tua. I mean, you know what I mean? Just take out Bortles and put in Tua alone. Forget our offense, and how's that season turn out for them?
it'll turn out better. And you know what? To your point, a lot of people don't want to give Tua the credit, but he's actually a much better quarterback than most people think
Well, I mean,
or
he's
give
just
him credit.
look, from the perspective of what I'm talking about, comparing to that 2017 Jaguars team, Tua is plenty closer to elite than that guy was. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
I mean, you could say, well, you didn't have no weapons at Jackson. Whatever. I mean, they had plenty. They had good wide receivers. I forget who it was off the top of my head, but they had decent running back. I think wasn't Jones Drew still with them at that time? MJD.
Yes, yes, yes. I do believe so. I do believe so.
But
Now
I mean,
remember that team was stacked,
yeah, and
man.
Jalen Ramsey was playing at Deion Sanders level at that time. You know what I
It was
mean?
playing insane, and that's who we expect to be getting,
That
in
that's
my
the
opinion.
that's the year that Calais Campbell made his name because he didn't start with Jacksonville. They picked him up midway through his career, and he had his best year with them, like 10 and a half sacks, or no, it was more than that. It was like 13 or something. I forget the number, but he had a double-digit sack year.
Mm, mm.
And since then, he's put up pretty much Christian Wilkins numbers consistently, even up to last year, his 16th season. So
Man,
all we need is a 17th out of him, and we're fine. You know what I mean? Because he could,
I'm telling you, man. If Tua really wants to bet on himself, like I'm all for it. If he wants to sit out, I'm all for it. Whatever he decides, I'm gonna back him up. He's my QB1. You know what I'm saying? He's wearing the logo. Until he's out of these colors, that's the only time I won't support him. But
well, Finsanity made a great point about because obviously she's really gifted as far as her you know her knowledge and how to articulate it. Because she's one of the few that when I say, okay, well, what does that 4,600 yards really mean? She put it into a real perspective that could actually, like, okay, that's a
mm-hmm.
legit answer to that question. You know what I mean? She's one of the few that's been able to do that on that particular point.
Yeah.
And it made me think about Jared Goff. Well, there is something to be said about the fact that our running game was busy and obviously still putting up 4,600 yards and all that while still having a lot of time taken up by the running game. I guess she's got a really, really good point there. And because when I look at Goff at the same time, who only threw 49 yards less than Tua, he was number 2 last year in yardage. Okay. Yet you look at David Montgomery, had a smidgen, just edged out Mostert in yardage, barely. He was 9th, and Mostert was 10th in yardage. Montgomery had 13 touchdowns running, and Mostert obviously flipped out with 18 on the
Yeah.
ground. You know what I mean? Plus the ones he caught in the air.
The 3, yeah, he
So
got in the air.
obviously he outperformed him there. But as far as the utilage and time,
The efficiency.
Goff pretty much did the same thing Tua did. So, I mean, there's a really, really good reason that Miami is, if that's their top or whatever, if they're ultimate or however Darlington put it. I mean, that's a really fair deal to pay him Goff money. If you were to shave a little bit off for the fact that Goff has consistently got his team either to the dance or close to the dance, you know what I mean? where Tua hasn't. Okay, fine. Shave a little off for that. Shave a little, get some incentives in there. And if Tua doesn't want to sign that, then I don't necessarily think it's Tua being punitive. It's Tua saying, look, I could take that sure deal. Or,
But I don't know. I gotta push back a little bit. I gotta push back a little bit, man. I gotta push back a little bit.
I'm just saying, if he gets through this schedule, it's likely because he really, really balled out, and he's putting up numbers beyond Jared Goff from last year, which means he should command more money than Jared Goff at that point.
I gotta push back a little bit, man. I gotta push back a little bit. And the only reason why I'm gonna push back is because of this. What people fail to realize is that since Tua has been in the league, the Miami Dolphins have had a winning season. Every single season, regardless of coach. I'm just going, even though people want to say winning is not a quarterback stat, but they still do put it in there. I'm just going to go for the team has won with Tua as a quarterback. Every single season, there has been progression as far as the team. And we've gone from back-to-back winning seasons to back-to-back winning seasons, and back-to-back playoff. Well, let's not pretend just because he didn't play in the playoff game don't mean we didn't need.
Yeah, but that's a testament to Greer, Miss Phins. Since the tank year, a lot of those wins came with Fitzpatrick under center.
Well, that was the very first year, but it wasn't all of them.
No, I'm just simply saying that's a testament to Greer. So, in other words, when people are like, oh, Greer is worried about Tua working out because his job's on the line, or they look at all these players and so this or that player has to work out because his job's on the line. No, I'm saying that's why Greer is safe. Greer is safe because of that little factoid you just gave about us having winning seasons since the tank year.
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying Tua wasn't the guy or didn't have to do it. And he did do it. But let's be real. There are many ways to win a football game. And the fact that we have had steadily 20 to 23 point per game defense and offenses, except in a couple years since McDaniel's gotten here, we've been consistently, above 25 points per game on offense, so yeah, you could credit. Okay. But again, that's a Chris Greer hire. Credit, you can say Ross is the one that made the move to change, but Greer still had to come in with a guy that could get the job done. And so far, if you're talking from the perspective of winning seasons, McDaniel's been able to keep that train going. Again, I'm not saying this is why you put a fair deal. You look at it from the perspective of the point that Finsanity made, and then you look at it, you compare that to Goff's perspective, and you say, okay, you put that deal on the table, and Tua either signs it or he doesn't, but it's a fair deal.
I think it's a fair deal. I think it's the years that's really getting the people, and
I'd rather be happy. I'd kind of be happy. I'd rather him just sign that right now.
We gotta see if he's okay with that because this is the one bad man. I didn't want to go to.
Well, I don't want to say they're not giving him. They're not offering Jared Goff money because Darlington did say that's their ultimate. He believed that was their ultimate. So obviously they're willing to do that. I don't know if they're waiting for him to call one more time before camp so they can finally lay that last offer on the table, or if that last offer's been laid on the table. I don't know.
Well, I think that he's gonna be. I think for right now, which is very interesting. For right now, man, the Miami Dolphins are going to do whatever they can to put themselves in the best position, as they should. But I think, what about this? Because it just popped into my head. Whether we get Tua or not, I still think Chris Greer is going to be okay.
I do too.
Whether we extend him or not, or he plays in his 5th year or whatever, I actually think he is going to be okay. I think he put it in himself or put himself in a position where he's gonna be all right.
Yeah,
And
you can't look at our overall team and praise it the way people do, and then say that Chris Greer is not safe because of one player.
no, no, because look at and again, to me this is his best.
That's
This is his
precisely
best.
why he's done business the way he has.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got the roster that we do. So why would I mean? I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I think he's gonna be safe, man. I think he is. I think he is. And you know what? I'm not even surprised. I'm like not even a little bit surprised because to me, it's gonna end up being it's gonna end up being the best. Whatever happens ends up being what needed to happen for the Dolphins. Period. I mean, there's just no other way of putting it that way.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
have to
I'm
trust the process
comfortable at
at this
this point
point.
because it's
Yeah.
dragged out this far. I'm
Thank you.
comfortable at this point to know that we're not going to get raked over the coals by whatever Tua signs if he signs this year.
Yeah. I don't think what I don't I want my team to have a shot, you know what I mean? But one thing that I respect and I appreciate is that he's not rushing this process.
Right. The other,
And
yeah, of course,
that's
of
what I
course.
like about it. That's what
Look,
I like Greer for that. Thank you,
yeah,
Greer. Thank you.
as well as Tua. I mean, I don't blame the guy whatsoever
Oh, I don't blame him either. Get
if
your
half
money.
the
I'm all for
teams in the NFL are dumb teams that are willing to shell out ducats for nothing. I don't blame Tua for trying to get his at all. That's
What
business.
up, Cap? How you doing? Hey,
But
TD's
here's
laughing.
the
Omar
thing.
Kelly. Awesome, man.
Something that I was talking to Mountie about was you know the Dolphins want to get in a situation where they're perfectly fine with signing Tua, but in order to protect themselves, right,
Yeah.
they have to be able to sign Tua to a contract that's tradable.
Ooh, you talking
Because
about
a
something
team
that nobody else is talking about, sir?
because if we find ourselves in a Jared Goff situation or worse where he did just enough for other teams to still have interest, but not enough for our liking, then teams aren't going to want to give up picks and the contract. They're going to want to be able to not have to worry about the contract.
Ooh, color. We're gonna have to do a whole nother
We
section
could
about
literally
that.
be negotiating on behalf of other teams also when it comes to we don't want to overpay
My number one
because
team
the
is
next
Seattle,
guy won't
bro.
take on that contract.
My number one team is Seattle.
It's no different than franchise tagging him. At that point, a team's got to offer this or that many picks and pay that money and give him a new contract. That's less likely to happen than if he's already got whatever contract we get him to sign that's fair and quote unquote tradable. Another team will be like, hey, we're perfectly fine with that contract. Here's a couple picks and boom, deal done.
Yeah. I mean,
It
dude.
can't be something overboard because other teams might not value him the way our fan base values him, but they might still value him. So we got to think of what other teams would want to pay to it as well. That is what the market is. The market. So Chris
Man,
Greer is not going to
you
get
spitting
into a
too much.
contract. Chris Greer is simply not going to, or he has shown no evidence thus far of getting into a contract that he can't get out of, whether it's through incentives or whether it's because the contract is easily tradable
Mm, 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 mm.
or no contract at all in the case of Wilkins. Like, hey, go get your
This is.
bag, man.
Oh, you know what? Dude, I gotta talk to you offline because this is some good stuff, man.
Anyway, I do got to run though, Miss Phins.
Yeah.
I'll
No.
tell you in a
I'm
second.
getting ready to shut it down. I just was sorry. I was in a different view. Mark, I'm sorry, Mark. I know that I don't know if you heard me or not, but I saw Mark was just in the back, but I didn't get a chance to bring him up here. Good morning, Miss Finn. Good morning, everybody. What's up, Vamos Gatos? Welcome, buddy.
All right,
Appreciate you.
you weren't missing nothing.
Mark, no, Mark. I don't know if you heard me or not. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I appreciate you coming on. I'll give you like 30 seconds real quick because I'm getting ready to shut up because I gotta go. But don't leave just yet, color.
All right.
Go
Hey,
ahead,
Miss
Mark.
Phins. Mr. Color, how you doing this morning?
How you doing, buddy? Apologize. I didn't realize you were back there this
Oh,
time.
that's okay.
Told you stuff.
I was enjoying you too. I had some thoughts and wanted to get your feedback on them.
Go
First of
ahead.
all,
We can do it
Color, you make a
quickly.
great point regarding the getting a contract for Tua that is tradable. I think that's probably the best way to go if you can possibly do it, because I don't think he's going to be more than what he is. I mean, let's be honest. 29 touchdowns against 20 turnovers is not a spectacular season. 4,600 yards passing in a 17-game league is not all that impressive. Lamar Jackson's MVP was a hoax last year because of Baltimore's winning record in their conference seeding. If you just compare, Tua is just on a different layer of quarterback. He's probably in that 10 to 15 range with the weapons that he has. Now, when I take a look at the upcoming season for the Dolphins, I've really given this some thought. I don't think you're going to see Phillips until after the bye.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think you're going to see Chubb until November. And we don't know how long both of those players are going to take to come back to their 2023 forms prior to injury. I've been through this, even though Chubb and Phillips are younger players. Von Miller was worthless last year. He admitted he was worthless. He never should have played. And those were comparable types of injuries that these players had. And, you only have like one Adrian Peterson who comes back after a blown knee and runs for 2,000 yards.
Seriously, that
So
man.
I think the Dolphins have major issues in week one, especially if you get it to a holdout, because Miami's offense is completely predicated on speed and timing. If he doesn't come out and participate in 11-on-11s, if he doesn't play exhibition snaps, he doesn't get continuity with his receiving core, I don't think he's going to have a great start. And Tua, historically, I don't care what month it is, does not play well against the higher quality teams. He burns the top teams, but he doesn't, or the lower teams, but he doesn't do very much at all against the top teams. So Jacksonville, that's not an easy win.
No,
Jacksonville has improved their roster substantially. You got a Buffalo team coming in on a Thursday night. No more major weather impact on the game. You'll have a night game. It'll be a more moderate but warm temperature. Then you got to go to Seattle. There's a distinct possibility this team starts 0-3.
You
don't have a pass rush.
I don't.
And I also want to talk about the end of the schedule. You've got at Green Bay, at Houston, at the Jets. Let's see, at Cleveland, and then you got to play the Jets at home.
But
you got to play the Jets at home. You got to play San Francisco at home, and you got to play the Rams. 5 out of your last 7 games are on the road, and you have a really badly placed Week 5 bye or after Week 5 bye. I don't like your schedule. You'll ring up some middle of the season wins, but I don't see where you're going to ring up. If you go 1-2 in the first 3 games, I think you'll be doing something. And you can't lose the Buffalo game. You can't lose that divisional game at home.
No, we
can't do it.
But when we sweep you, Mark, I want you to still come back here, okay? You can't be traveling or
I do come back here, Miss Phins. I'm just telling you.
No. I don't.
And somebody needs to explain to me, maybe Color, because Color's the sack guy. What is so great about 29 touchdowns and 20 turnovers? Please tell me what merits a market value contract for a +9 turnover to touchdown differential.
Well, it depends on what market you're in.
Yeah, it depends on what you're looking for and what do you need, because right now, I mean, clearly it was what we needed for us to win, and then when we didn't win, it wasn't enough for what we needed. So it just depends on what the situation is at the time. And to Color's point, what market you're looking at.
In my honest opinion, it's opinion only.
Hmm.
4 winning seasons in a row, 2 10-win seasons, a 9-win season, and an 11-win season, which averages out to 10. So is good. Most the teams are going to be very happy with that
Yeah.
because there's a layer of success there. But it's like it's a success because you've had 20 years of failure that preceded it. And I just think the Dolphins community in and of itself is just looking at things through a highly optimistic view, as every fan is going to do, but you're also looking at it in the context of we're great now only because in relationship to us sucking for 2 decades. It's like what Buffalo fans would do, and fans are fans. Oh, we have a great run. We have a great run because we hadn't made the playoffs in 17 years. Well, please don't compare your performance against 17 years of suckdom. Don't do it. Quit aiming.
What a word. I'm sorry, you got me with that one, Mark. That was good. But you know what? This is the thing, Mark.
Quit aiming so darn low.
Fans are fans, man. They're gonna fan, and I'm not here to tell people how to fan.
I don't mock fans. I'm just saying that look at the team in relationship to the overall goal. I think TD has it right because his goal is to get and win the Super Bowl, not have a run to get to a playoff spot and get wiped out in the first round.
The only thing that matters is the Super Bowl. There's nothing else that matters besides the Super Bowl. And shout out to TD. I know that Cap said he's live with Omar Kelly. That's awesome.
Yeah, with Omar right now. It's ought to be interesting.
But listen,
I look at this team.
At the end of the day, Mark, sorry, I'm going to cut you off because I really do have to go skedaddle. But I said you're bringing up some good points, and I understand, but for you, being a Bills fan, within the division, taking a look at it. But I will tell you this, that at the end of the day, we still got to wait and see what the players do and execute, game day. And I feel good that right now our team, it's not having such a huge drop-off based on the players we were able to pick up this offseason. They may not
be. Do you
think
that? Well, let me ask a question. I know you got to go, but do you think the 2024 Dolphin roster is better than the 2023 Dolphin roster?
I don't think it's better, but I think it's still comparable. Like I said earlier,
I believe it's comparable.
Earlier, I said it's last year. If you put last year at 100%, I think we're at like a 85% to it, maybe 90 if you squeeze out if they execute. But I think it's comparable. I don't think it's gonna be.
I think in key positions for what we are doing on both sides of the ball, we got better potentially. I mean, we still have.
I mean, you could argue that depends on the position, and we're going to discuss
because
that,
there's some positions based on what we do that we didn't have to get better at.
Exactly.
And Caller, your analysis is one of the best I've heard. It is one of the very, very best that I have heard because it's all predicated on your system. And just like, you listen to the casuals and they'll say, well, Buffalo's team was far worse than last year because they got rid of X amount of players. They're changing their system. Their system is going to bigger wide receivers. Their system's going to a power running game. Their system is going to, a higher level of dependence on.
We're likely switching to a 4-3. Hence the reason we loaded up with pass rushers.
I was going to say, which is why we got the edges in the draft. And why we added extra
I mean, philosophically, the Dolphins are 100% diametric different than Buffalo, which I think makes the AFC East race really, really compelling. Which system wins? Does the speed offense, does the speed wide offense
using
work?
A West Coast? It's just what they're doing inside that West Coast that's diametrically opposed.
And how is each team? And the other thing that I look at is how is each roster comprised to win the division? Because winning the division is everything. You win the division, you're guaranteed.
I've been saying that for years.
One of the top 4 seeds. You're guaranteed a home playoff game as a starter for your offseason.
That's all we need. One home playoff game to to get that monkey off our back and then to propel us forward to the AFC Championship.
Right.
Well,
It's
we
it's going
all
to be
play
the
virtually
three teams that are competitive
look,
in the division.
we all play
And I don't think
virtually
New
this
England is horrible. I think they'll have a bad season,
we
but they're
all
trying
play
to build their
virtually the
roster.
same schedule, Mark. You guys
Pardon?
actually the only different teams you guys play are the Ravens, the Lions, and the Chiefs.
Right. And you get the Raiders, which should be a pickup. You get the Browns
Right.
versus
And we get the
Buffalo
Packers.
getting Baltimore, and you
So
get Green Bay,
And we
and
get the
Buffalo gets
Packers.
Detroit.
Yeah.
given that
Very, very
all of us
comparable.
given that all of us have to play the same kind of tough schedule, I really believe that the division is a race to 10 wins, and it'll be won likely with 11.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
Well, it
And you
was
take a look,
last
for
year.
example, let's take a look at the AFC North. You got 4 really solid football teams there.
Yeah.
The AFC South has got 2 really solid teams and a sleeper in Indianapolis, and the West is the weakest of the 4 divisions, in my opinion.
Well, we
Because
got
you've
some.
got
We got.
Kansas City, and then you've got a mediocre Charger team.
Well, yeah, but then we got some. We got some pretty good opponents that we're gonna be both looking at. And to Color's point, we practically have the same one with just a couple variations. This is gonna be a very interesting season, being with the changes that the Bills have already made, and then what we've made as well, and the pickups we've done, and the pickups you guys have done. This is gonna be fun, a fun ride towards the top, and I give us
I
the
think there's
edge when
also
it
a
comes to
difference
getting the.
between the 2 opposing strategies.
Sorry, Mark, I
Really,
can't.
really interesting.
Sorry, Mark. Literally, like I don't know what happened, but you just went into a super blender, man. But I appreciate what you said. I guess I don't know what happened there, man, but it was tough. But thank you, Mark, for coming through. I appreciate it, and you brought some good points. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, whether people like it or not, the Miami Dolphins. Listen, the Miami Dolphins are going to be competitive in this division. We are going to be one of the top teams. And you know what? I think this I mean, we were what one game we were a few games away. We were one game multiple times away from winning the division. I think that's how I want to say it, right, Color? Last year to win in the division. I think this year we actually do supersede that. And this whole thing about people being worried with the Tua contract, I'm not worried at all. If anything, I'm very proud of the front office and Greer being able to uh to actually take their time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
So
I think given how we're built in our team itself overall, I think we can still achieve the 11 wins at least we got last year. They're just
mhm.
going to be tougher wins than they were last year.
Yeah, but you
They're
know
not
what?
going
I
to be
like
all
that because
cakewalk.
it's gonna test us again.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be able to show to the
We got to
world that
take that
hey,
next step where we got to start. We
exactly.
got to be winning close games because none of these games, I mean, some of them will be, but there's not going to be 11 or 10 cakewalks like there was last year. But that doesn't mean we can't win. It's just not going to be
Thank you.
so, by 25 points every game.
Or 70. You know, I mean,
Yeah, we
hey, I
got
don't
a
put it
little bit
past
to
us.
give up. We got a little bit to give up, but we should still be able to get a
Yeah.
lot of wins.
And I agree. And we're still one of the top teams in the league. We're exciting. We're young. We're fun.
Right.
We got sexy colors. We
Bottom
got the
line
most
is our offense should still be able to score more than our defense on average.
1000%.
So
And you know what? I appreciate you, Color, for coming through. Stay in the back, man, because I wanna run something by you. But Color, what are your final thoughts, real quick, before I close this puppy up?
I guess to answer your question
Yes, to
of the
the
show,
Dolphins.
yeah, I think we can make the playoffs again.
Extra question: can we win in the playoffs?
We could have won last year.
Will we win this year?
Uh, yes.
I love it, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. The Miami Dolphins
I
will
have
break
no
that
idea what
monkey
those
off.
circumstances will be, but we will win one.
Yes, we believe that we will win. I love it, Color. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate you again. Stan, I'm gonna put you in the back real quick and talk to you in a second. But Thank you so much for coming through. I
Sure
appreciate
thing.
it.
Fins up.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this is Miss Phins. I am Miss Phins. Appreciate all of you guys for coming through. Shout out to Shake Money and his $2 donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Uh, Shake Money, stop it. I did not say that. Good morning, word of mouth. Welcome. How you doing, buddy? I what was I gonna say? I'm ready to turn this puppy off, but I appreciate you guys coming through. Man, we had over 250 in Twitter alone. We had almost 260 people in here. I appreciate all of you guys for coming through, man. You guys are literally the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming through, man. I appreciate all of you guys. Do me a favor, though, everybody on Twitter and Twitch. If you can do me a favor, go ahead and click on my profile. It gives you the YouTube channel, okay? Because I don't always go on Twitter, but I try to as much as I possibly can. Um, if you guys can come up, if you're loving the content, you want to hear more, we're setting up for having another awesome season over here with Miss Fins. But it'll be great to have all 300 of y'all over here as subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed already to Miss Fins, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to the channel on YouTube. That way we're able to go ahead and give you everything up to date. So I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming through. This is Miss Fins. I thought today was a great show, man. And I wanted to ask this question, could the Dolphins get to the playoffs? And I think the answer is yes. I think it's absolutely we could. And I actually think that we will. I think that this contract situation, this is just extra fluff, but I think that we will be good. And I'm telling you right now, I'm so proud of what we have going on because this is such a great team. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is Miss Fins. Do me a favor, hit that like button, share, subscribe. Take care, guys, and as always, I'll see you later. I'll see you on Friday. Bye bye.